Heyo. Hey now. Welcome. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. It's a big tent. It's a big tent. It's a big tent for a big show. This is the Trutherverse. All you wacky guys and dolls, welcome. Welcome to the show that never ends. That's right, folks. Welcome. That's right. The show that never ends. That's reality. That's our reality. Are we here stuck in the soul trap? In the Saturn moon matrix? How long have we been here? Eons. Who knows? Who knows? Archon food. It's a scary thought. Ooh. A little too scary for this early in the morning. But welcome. Let's get it started. Stop fooling around here. Let's get fired up. Right, Marika. What the fuck are we here for, she says. What is this place? Is this real? Much love. Much love. Much like our friend, Mr. Talcott, we ask the same question. The universal question. Is this real? Is it real? Who's here? Who's here? Moose is here. Moose is here. We're live, folks. Live and in person. Let me get the show started in the proper fashion. I got a little distracted. I saw Marika's lovely face here so early in the morning, and it kind of distracted me. I'm not gonna lie. Again, Heidi, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, Heidi. Much love, Marika. I wonder what it's like being Marika. Everywhere she goes in this truthiverse, she kind of causes a little bit of a stir, a little bit of an like an uprising. Can't imagine why. I can't imagine why. I don't know. It's weird. Tommy in the house. Axis Rat Blood's here. Axis Rat Blood says, only as real as you make it. Axis, here's what I'm thinking with you. I want to know what you think about this, Axis. What we're going to do every so often, Axis, we're going to bring you on. We'll do like a segment. We're going to do like an Axis Rat Blood segment. I think it'll be good for both of us and the audience. It'll be good for all of us. Because in the spirit of understanding, in the spirit of brotherhood, in the spirit of, let's say, love, whatever kind of love you want to, well, however you want to define love. So here's what I'm thinking, Axis. Every once in a while, it doesn't have to be like a formal thing. You come on, and we're going to do an Axis Rat Blood segment where you kind of give us some insights into Satanism. Because for anybody who's not aware, Axis Rat Blood, he's our resident Satanist. You know, if we have a full-fledged Satanist here with us each morning, I think it's only proper that we maybe explore that a bit. And then we'll bring Axis up, and then he can give us a little bit of his, like a sermon. I know that's going to upset some of the more delicate amongst us, or at least he can come up and give us some kind of insight into his ideology, so to speak. I don't know, Axis. You let me know what you think. I don't know how much Heidi's going to like that. I'm not sure, but you think about it, Axis. So you come up, you give us a little bit of insight into your religion of Satanism. He says, sure. All right, Rat Blood. So from time to time, I'll bring you up. You just drop some knowledge on us, and then we'll move on. Tommy's active in the chat, talking about Christy Lee dolls, vacations, all kinds of things. All right, let me get the show started properly. I haven't even turned my camera on, so the show hasn't officially started yet, I guess. Some say it doesn't officially start till my camera comes on. Others say the show doesn't officially start until Rob Cleveland gets here. Mainly Rob Cleveland. That's what he says. I don't know, Rob. Seems a bit self-indulgent on your part. Anyway. Yeah, Tommy's here. You guys can't see Tommy in the chat? Did somebody time out Tommy? Why do I see Tommy? Tommy, how come you're not coming up in the chat? What's going on there? Somebody explain that to me. Why are we not seeing Tommy in the chat? Very weird. There he is. He says, I know Block Gary. I could see Tommy, guys. Anyway. Maybe you want to check your settings or something. Who knows? Much love, Tommy. Tommy this morning, I was listening to Tommy. He was on our friend Benton's show. And he was basically doing his Tommy thing. And included in the whole Tommy thing is Tommy regaling us with stories about hooking up with transsexuals in airport bathrooms. I found that quite illuminating, Tommy. I guess you're living up to your name, Illuma Tommy, because you're illuminating us with homoerotic stories about gay bathroom sex. I don't know. It's weird. Right, Moose says, hit all chat, not top chat. It's weird, Moose. YouTube defaults to top chat each time, and then people like Tommy get blocked out for some reason. I don't know if he's like flagged by YouTube as being, like a miscreant, some kind of danger to the people. Lizzo French in the house. See, I start talking about transsexual sex, and then Lizzo pops up. Like, that's perfect timing, Lizzo. You can't write that timing. But much love, Lizzo. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's all settle in. Tommy says I could explain some top chat situations. I'm not sure. Whatever, Tommy. Let's move on. Let's get the show started. The camera's got to come on. There it is. Get on. We're here. There was some controversy yesterday. I had on a V-neck, and some people took issue with that. They felt as though the V-neck wasn't the best option for me. So we're back to the crew neck, everybody. We need to avert all forms of controversy. Can't be running around with a crew neck or with a V-neck. All right. Where was I? Turning the camera on threw me off. I got to refocus now. I need to refocus. But yeah, so for those of you just rolling in, we've decided that since we have a resident Satanist here at the show, and our good friend Axis Ratblood, we're going to be doing an Axis Ratblood segment periodically. One might say frequently on the show, where we're going to get Axis up here, and he's going to let us into to some of the secret doctrines of Satanism. Now, everybody calm down. I can see all the Zetetic Warrior exposed videos being furiously produced as we speak. I'm looking at you, Ian. Much love, Ian. Where's Ian? We'll talk about him later. Before you guys get, all riled up, it doesn't mean that Z is a Satanist because I'm willing to listen to a Satanist. I'm just interested in it. I'm interested in somebody who, I don't know, is living that lifestyle. It's strange to me because you normally think of a Satanist as like you have a certain type of idea of the lifestyle of a Satanist, but yet we have a Satanist here who apparently just lives in the suburbs. He's living like a normal life, but he's a Satanist. It's weird. OTW News in the house. Patrick, I'm glad you're here. I was looking for you yesterday. I need to talk to you, Patrick. I have some ideas I'm bouncing around. I'm trying to produce segments for my show, like the Axis Ratblood segment, the Suburban Satanist, the Satanist Next Door. So he's going to have a segment, but I want an OTW News segment, Patrick. Because like I said yesterday, I want you here. I think we could co-create together, but I don't want to just feel like I'm bringing you up out of some sense of guilt, obligation, or otherwise. I don't think that would be good for either of us. But I think I found a way where I could utilize your skills, your talents, your knowledge on my show. Because like I said, I do think OTW News is legit. He's probably too legit to quit. So I don't want to quit you, Patrick. I can't quit you, Patrick. Anybody You could turn that into like a Brokeback Mountain clip, like a montage. Where's the Talcott clip guy? I can't quit you, Patrick. So because of that, I'm proposing OTW News that we do a segment frequently on Z Show. We'll talk about it more when you come up later. If you're around. Part of me wants to drop the link in and let you come up now, Patrick, but that'll just mess my flow up. So you guys know I dropped the link in the second hour of the show. Moose says, I wish I knew how to quit you. Yeah, Moose got the reference. Brokeback Mountain, everybody. It was a weird movie. We're Snafu Snaps to come in and tell us about the LGBT agenda. You know, the Hollywood pedo elites pushing the LBGTQIA agenda. Where's Snafu Snaps when you need them? Patrick says he's not ready anyway. Okay, cool, Patrick. I think you're going to like this, Patrick. I like it, at least. I'm trying to tighten things up. You know, I'm trying to use my show as like some type of example to the Truthiverse community. I think we need to tighten it up, guys. I think we're all a little too loose out here. It's a little too much. We got people streaming for like 12 hours. Whatever, that's fine, but all right. Patrick agrees. We're in agreement. I think he's agreeing with me in terms of we need to tighten this whole show up. The whole ship, guys. We need structure amongst the Truthiverse. Lumitami says, oh, it's tightening up. Season 3. Lumitami promoting his news show, Spurged Out News with the Lumitami. I think we're all looking forward to that, Tommy. Who else is here? We don't want to get ahead of ourselves too quickly. Gary Baxter in the house. Nuba. Much love, Nuba. It's either Nuba or Noba. It's probably Noba. It's a long O. It's not a short O. Who else? Who else is getting here? I already said hi to Marika. Much love. Why does it say I have bad internet connection? It says my internet connection is unstable. What is up with that? Right now it's coming back, huh? Weird. I'm still live. I probably should get a hard line internet connection. Who knows? If I drop out, guys, just come back in. Who knows? Three Fingers. Much love, Three Fingers. Much love. Papa Will in the house. I'd like to shout out the chat early in the show. It keeps me level. Otherwise, I just get ahead of myself. I just jump out of the gates a little too quickly. And then it becomes difficult for me to rein it in after that. Dave Oliver in the house. Good to see you. I was listening to Benton this morning before I got on today. It was nice to hear Benton. Mr. Miyagi in the house. Mr. Miyagi, I don't want to offend you, but I know you're just rolling in, but we're going to have a Axis Rap Blood, the Suburban Satanist, on either today or sometime soon. We're going to be doing a Suburban Satanist segment on my show where Axis Rap Blood comes in and he espouses some of the virtues, the doctrine, and dogma of the religion of Satanism. So I don't know, Mr. Miyagi, how you're going to handle that. You seem to be, I don't know, seem to have some sensitivities when it comes to that whole topic. But you're welcome to stay. We love you, Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi, maybe we have you come up occasionally, not every time, with our friend, Axis Rat Blood. Maybe you guys can have it out. The Christian version. Because Axis Rat Blood, he's a Satanist. He's an avowed doctrine-believing Satanist. So maybe we should have an avowed doctrine-believing Christian to come up sometimes. You know, to sort of maybe have it out with Axis Rat Blood. Because I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to argue about religion. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not. It's just like my friend Paul Enslaved. He doesn't argue about the shape of the earth. You know, I'm different. I'll argue about the shape of the earth. You know, but I'm not going to argue about religion. But that doesn't mean my audience members can't. So if anybody, let me know, any of you hardcore Christians out there, even Benton, I don't know, Benton, if you're still alive, but Benton, if you're here listening to me, I heard you say you're Christian. You know, you're willing to put that label on yourself. What do you guys? Benton versus Axis Rat Blood. We can have them go head to head for a segment. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. OTW News says, let's all be Satanists. Well, Patrick, I don't know. That's a little too much. I don't know if I can get behind that statement. Yeah, that might. Tommy says he'll take the Jesus stance. Okay. Rat Blood, maybe later in the show, we bring up you and Illumitami, and we have a little, a debate, maybe? I could probably moderate it. We could have an official debate, or I could just leave you guys up, and you guys could just go at it, raw and uncut. Heidi, what do you think? Heidi's becoming my de facto producer. Would you like to see an Axis Rat Blood versus Tommy Illumitami segment? Moose, what do you think, Moose? I'm going to say yes on this one, Moose, but I want to hear Moose's take. Mr. Miyagi's behind it. Axis is up for it. Three Finger says he can't do religion. Heidi seems to be behind it. She seems to be supportive. So, yeah. So, Mr. Rat Blood, Mr. Illumitami, if you guys are around when I drop the link in the second hour, maybe we'll let you two have it out. I have a nose for these things, guys. Moose says, nah, I can't do it. No, Moose, I don't mean you. Moose, I was just asking if you approve the segment, because more and more I'm inclined to follow the thoughts and understanding of Moose when it comes to production. Am I frozen, guys? No, I'm back. Okay, Moose approves. All right, Tommy, we'll look forward to it in the second hour. You too, Axis Rat Blood. So Axis Rat Blood, get dressed, do whatever you have to do. Put on your makeup, your eyeshadow, whatever you Satanists do to get ready to present Axis. But I'm going to request, Axis, please, please refrain from hitting us with the hate frequency. All right? We've already tested out the hate frequency. We've gone there. We have a Muhammad M. Al-Khatani in the building. Much love, Muhammad. I don't know, Muhammad, if you are a Muslim, maybe we make this a three-way thing. We have the Christian, the Muslim, and the Satanist. I don't know. I think we could do something with this. I think we can, man. I see this going somewhere. But yeah, Axis, I'm going to politely request that you refrain from blasting us with your hate fucking frequency. Muhammad says they are Muslim. I wondered if Muhammad is John Vance, or if it's legit Muhammad. Who knows? Is that you, John Vance, the white Muslim? All right. We're going to look forward to that religious segment today. But I can't debate religion anymore. I just can't. I just can't do it. Hermes Trismegistus is the hell. Let me try this again. Hermes Trismegistus. I got it. In the house. Hitting us with the hermetic vibe this morning. The hermetic principles coming at us. All right. Yeah, Patrick, OTW News. We're gonna talk a little bit later in the show. NTFG says, "What's up, Herpetic Z?" NTFG in the house. Was trolling us a little bit yesterday. Guys, let NTFG do their thing, but if they get out of hand, NTFG, you can come in here. You could disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me. Although I probably won't like you because, as we've learned here in my show, I really only tend to like people who agree with me, which is probably, like I said, it's probably one of my shortcomings. I understand I probably need to work on that, but so NTFG, you can come in, you could say your thing here, but if you start spamming my chat, or you start going crazy, my mods are just going to time you out, and then eventually you're just going to get banned. Commercial sound and video. Good to see you. Says Z. Stay calm. Peace be with you. Well, peace be with you, commercial sound and video. Good to see you again. Commercial sound and video was there for my very first major interview on Brian Stavely channel. Brian S. Stavely. Much love, commercial sound and video. Commercial sound and video. Whatever happened to the Truther super group that we're all supposed to get together? I haven't abandoned that yet, commercial sound and video. I know my friend Christian had Levelhead going. What's up with Levelhead? I don't see Christian posting. Fill me in, commercial sound and video. Because I do propose that we need a super group. We need a Truther super group. You know, there's a lot of musicians in this Trutherverse. We need to put them all together in some way. We need to take this whole show on the road, this whole circus, whatever it is, the Trutherverse circus. I'm a little upset with Paul Enslaved. I'm going to have to put this out because I would hope, well, this is me probably projecting, but my wish would be that the Enslavius one would embrace the flat earth community a bit more. He seems to be, I guess at best, agnostic on the subject. Talk to me, chat. Am I getting in my ego and my emotions here, and in my desire that the Enslavius one embrace the flat earth community a bit more? If he doesn't believe in it, he doesn't believe in it. Or I should say if he doesn't accept it, it's fine. But I don't really know where he stands. He seems to be globe agnostic at least. But I'm not sure. OTW News agrees with me. He says, yup. Yup. Hermes Trismegistus just said, add a few more Z's to my name. Much love, Hermes. But you're here, aren't you? Moose says, Daddy doesn't do enough for me either, Z. That's hilarious. Right. Heidi says, Paul doesn't do numbers, flat earth. And I get it. he doesn't, he doesn't want to touch it for whatever reason. Probably because, I don't know. I don't even want to conjecture, but that's my little selfish thing that I wish would happen. Because I think Cammy, Eisling 777, some of you flat earthers will remember, you know who Cammy is. I think she was bouncing around Paul's chat last night. Tommy thinks he knows something. NTFG says maybe it's a dumb topic. Fair enough. Fair enough. You could all have your opinions. Right. Moose says, on a serious note, I think rights and freedoms are his main purpose in life. Exactly. But I'm just putting it out there. It was on my mind, so I wanted to say it. Part of me wasn't sure I wanted to go there, but I wanted to exercise that little demon that was inside of me. You know. Yeah, Hermes Trismegistus, Trismegiscus, and NTFG. NTFG just says Paul's a con man. Okay. Say whatever you want, dude, but that's just like your opinion. I stole that. Shout out to Big Lebowski. Yeah, Tommy, man, you are active this morning, Tommy. Here's the real question: does Tommy ever sleep? Ever? I say no. I say no. 76er in the house says, stay real, Z Money. Much love, 76er. Good to see you. Let's see what commercial sound the video said. I was asking him about the Truth or Super group. He says it's in the works. There's a jam sesh scheduled for the second week in August in Atlanta. Well, am I invited? Commercial sound and video? I could probably get myself down to Atlanta. I like to be included, Heidi. I just like to be in the conversation. There's something about me. I don't know. Maybe I have FOMO, fear of missing out. Not sure. I might need to look at that. I might need to examine that. NTFG says, he who makes a beast of himself rids himself of the pains of being a man. It's a good quote, NTFG. Now you're contributing. I like that. I forget who the author of that quote was. Who was it? Was that like a William Blake type of thing, or is that a Nietzsche thing? Is that a Nietzsche? NTFG. Whose quote is that? I'm going with Nietzsche. Let's see if Z's up on his trivia this morning. Roy Duggan in the house. So, somebody tell me, who can we attribute that quote to? He who makes a beast of himself rids himself of the pains of being a man. So NTFG, instead of trolling me, maybe you could help me out here. He's asking me if my license is suspended. Yeah, license. Axis Raplet, thank you. Hunter S. Thompson. It's a Hunter S. Thompson quote, he says. Which would make sense because they use that quote in the beginning of the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So that makes sense to me, Axis. Nice info. That's a pretty good flick, guys. You guys know. I'm not really down with Hollywood and movies and stuff, but to be completely honest, there's certain movies that I like. How's this? Z likes movies, but nothing really after 2000. I like the nostalgia. Certain movies. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a good movie. Benicio del Toro, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci. And in the beginning of that movie, they present that quote. So, of course, it's a... and the movie centers around Hunter S. Thompson and his life in hijinks. Uncle Rick in the house. Much love, Uncle Rick. My man. My man in Florida. I like that I have all these metaversal friends all around the flat world. Like I said, guys, you can go around the world. You can go around the flat world too. I have my little friends all around. If I ever do the Z World Tour, I'll have plenty of places to stay. Right, Heidi says Johnny Depp drinks adrenochrome in that movie. Can you even say adrenochrome on YouTube? Did I just fuck my whole show and channel up? But yeah, Heidi, that's the movie where I was first introduced to the idea of the concept of fucking adrenochrome. The movie came out in the 90s. And then, now, I mean, any self-respecting member of the Truthiverse knows what adrenochrome is, so I don't have to get into the whole thing. But yeah, indeed, it was in the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas where I was first introduced to the term adrenochrome, which I'm wondering if Hunter S. Thompson wrote about adrenochrome like in the 70s and the 80s, which would show that it was in some way amongst the popular zeitgeist, even going way back then. But I don't know, Heidi. I don't know how much I want to get into the whole pedo elite topic and their weird mystery religions and stuff. We're already going to do the Satanism versus Christianity thing later, so maybe we'll save it. NTFG says, you don't know who Samuel Johnson is, do you? I can't say that I do. Samuel Johnson. Not sure who you're referencing there, NTFG. Okay. So NTFG is saying that the he who makes a beast of himself, quote, is a Samuel Johnson quote. Thank you, NTFG. Thank you for filling us in. But they do present that quote in the beginning of the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So I could see where Access Rat Blood was making the correlation. Thank you, NTFG. Thank you. You're helping us out here this morning. Shock the monkey, he says. We're learning here this morning. We're learning. Thank you, OTW News, for reminding everybody to like and share. Like and share the show, guys. That means you hit the like button and you share it. Who knows? Maybe you have 200 Facebook or YouTube followers, or you have an Instagram account or Facebook. Just link the show and share my channel, guys. Link the channel and share it. Don't keep Z Show like to yourself. We gotta spread the love. Yeah, OTW. I'm working on just putting the vibe out there and just seeing how it resonates. We got to get some more names in here, Patrick. We got to get some more names in here. Like my friend Andrew B came in here, and he's trying to hook me up with Jaron of Jaronism and Austin Whitsitt for an event. So Andrew B is nominating me to present at one of their events, which I'd be open to. I'm entertaining that. But interestingly enough, that triggered our good friend Brian O'Shea to do a whole video about it, where he yet again put my name in the title and then popped off on flat Earth, even though he's a flat earther, which is weird. But then at the same time, he wants me and everybody else to keep his name out of my mouth. So, all right, O'Shea, if that's what you want, I don't have to talk about you. The difference between me and most people and all these other people, or many of them, is that I actually like O'Shea. I have an affinity for O'Shea. May I dare say that I care for O'Shea. He might not believe it, but I don't know why you'd want me to keep your name out of my mouth, Brian, given the fact that I like you. But I don't know. Maybe I'll honor that request and I'll just not talk about you. Either way, much love, dude. Much love. Sly Shy in the house says, Z, you resonate with me. Well, Sly Shy, that's a good thing. Since I am promoting you for, to be the next president of the United States. I mean, I'm advocating for you to be the president of the United States. It's funny because my stream is freezing just a little bit this morning. I could see it. I don't know. Maybe because I get more viewers each morning. I have 73 people here and it's still in the 6 a.m. hour. I don't know. Not sure. Not sure. These things just tend to, I notice these things. Like, don't be surprised if the stream fucks up this morning, guys. Don't be surprised. I don't know. I don't want to be these people that say, I don't want to give myself a inflated sense of self-importance or anything. But, I'm just noticing it. Just noticing that. It's just kind of weird. I got to rein it in. See, because then I could feel, all right, so I'm going to bring you guys into my whole emotional world right now. I see the fuckery, even if they're not, even if my internet's just a little glitchy right now, and it's minor, it's not messing up too bad, but I can see the fuckery when it comes to these communities. We can see the hand coming down. We can see the hand of the controllers coming into our communities. They like to fuck with us. In so many ways. Anyway, I'm going to try to let that go. NTFG says, Athetic Warrior, can I interview you? I don't know. Do you have a channel? I'll say this, NTFG. I have an open panel later in the show. If you want to come up and talk to me, we'll vibe each other out and see where it goes. If you want to interview, if I decide that indeed there's some type of vibe there, whatever, good or bad, maybe I'll think about it. So we can talk. Yeah, see, I brought up the numbers and then they went down. Maybe I'm going to stop talking to people because people don't like it's like if I say, I have 70-some people here at, in the 6 o'clock hour, I think when people hear that, sometimes there's a tendency to say, oh, fuck him, I'm going to tune out. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into that a little too much. So OTW, man, where have you been, dude? You said you wanted to do a morning show. Here's the thing, Patrick. See, this is the part where I talk to Patrick from OTW News, but I don't have him up here, so I could just say what I want. Patrick, you wanted to do a morning show, but then you're streaming like mid-afternoon for like 6 hours. Then you don't do your morning show, and then I'm just wondering, Patrick, like what your plan is, like, like what's your design for your channel? Are you going to do a morning show and an afternoon, or are you just going to stream 24 hours a day? Like I said, do what you want, dude, but it's I don't know. I'm just having trouble seeing your vision, Patrick. Maybe you could talk to me a little bit about it when you come up. NTFG says maybe you have bad resonant vibration. Oh, I don't know if you mean me or somebody else, NTFG, but NTFG, I'm going to encourage you to maybe examine yourself a bit more before you throw stones at others. NTFG says, Zetetic warrior, you vibrating? Well, NTFG, aren't we all vibrating? I mean, it could be said that this place is just literally frequency, vibrations, and energy, which they're all the same thing, by the way. It's all vibrations. It's all frequency. It's periodic sinusoidal oscillation. I mean, NTFG, if you're going to interview me, we could go into it. You know, we could go into understanding the metaphysics or exploring the metaphysics of this realm, what this place may be, and probably is, frequency and vibration. Friend Axis Rat Blood seems to agree, and he's a Satanist. See, here's a problem that I have with this whole reality, just the way this whole place is structured is, you guys always want to have these static ideas of good and bad, good versus evil, but a fucking Satanist can come on here and he's making more sense to me than some of you other people. So what does that fucking say about this reality? And some of you people, because he's an avowed Satanist, and he seems to at least be able to control himself. He at least seems able to be polite in some ways, courteous, even rational. But a lot of you other people come on and you're completely disjointed. You have no self-control. You seem very hate-filled and bigoted. What does that say about this world? What does it say about this reality? And TFG says, I am examining myself by looking into the abyss that is you. Much love, NTFG. Much love. Thank you, Sly Shy. She says I am vibing. I'm vibing high. We'll take that. Lumitami says, it's not the debate, Z. You're a typical mod god. Well, Lumitami, is it possible that you're just jealous or you're having some type of feelings because you're not modded up? Take it easy, Tommy. I unbanned you. Don't make me ban you again. NTFG says, your vibe has a wobble. Oh, really, NTFG? Is it the same wobble that your stupid spinning space globe has? The 26,000 year wobble cycle that apparently leads to the precession of the equinox, which is completely stupid in and of its face. Is that the wobble you're talking about? Anyway, there Z goes again with his flat earth rhetoric. There he goes. Commercial sound and video was active this morning. Now Tommy says he hates people backstaging me. Tommy, I backstage almost everybody, dude. But I'm not going to backstage you this morning, Tommy. I want you to come up and have a debate with, or at least a conversation. I don't want to call it a debate. Let's call it a dialogue. Can we engage in open, honest dialogue here? So, Tommy, you'll have an opportunity this morning. Cuck Body Outline, a.k.a. Mitch in the house. Much love, Mitch. Mitch, I hope you're vibing high this morning. It's 3:55 where you are currently, in the AM. This is Mitch's time. This is Mitch's time to shine. Like I said, Mitch, it's a perfect time for you. Because the policy enforcers really aren't very active this time of day. I mean, they're getting paid. But This is the time of day where they're just kind of sitting there, figuring out how they're going to fill their time and not fall asleep. I wonder how many cops doze off on the job. I bet the number's exceedingly high. Cops falling asleep on the job. A lot of them are like metabolically all fucked up, whether because they're overweight or they're engaging in some type of exogenous hormone regimen, steroids, testosterone. You know all about this, Tommy. We know you've done a couple cycles back in the day. You've admitted to it. So you got these cops. They're all fucked up, right? They're overweight. They're messing with their hormones. They're all disjointed. They're not healthy people, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and otherwise. So these cops, we know they're falling asleep on the job. So this is a perfect time for Mitch. The cops aren't going to fuck with him. Mitch gets to kind of just exist. So much love, Mitch. Glad to have you here. Mateo's been coming strong in the chat. Mateo, I like you better in the chat than on screen. Although I do like talking to you sometimes. But Mateo has a strong presence in the chat because he hits us with the fucking real shit. He said 70% of Americans are pre-diabetic, including the police. Right. So then you add the diabetic ones. It's exceedingly high. NTFG says, do you know what Dunning-Kruger is? Is it a what or is that a who? Anyway, well, at least now somebody will look it up. No, I don't know Dunning-Kruger. I don't know NTFG. Maybe you'll come up and talk to us today or some other time. But no, I don't know what Dunning-Kruger is. Robin Corey in the house. Much love to you, Robin. Much love. Oh, for a while, 4. Good to see you. Much love. Mark Basket. Welcome. Good to see you. Papa Will, much love. Mr. Miyagi weighing in. He says the Dunning-Kruger effect is having confidence in something you don't know. Okay. Cool. NTFG says, look up Dunning-Kruger. Let's talk about you. Well, Mr. Miyagi looked it up, or at least he had the knowledge, so he let us in on it. Having confidence in something you don't know. Oh, like all you doctrine-believing Christians out there, or really any doctrine, religious zealot. I mean, I could really say that about anybody. Can we really know anything? Lucky Haskins is here. See, I put the call out for Lucky. And he showed up. You see how that happens? Guys? Yesterday I said, where's Lucky Haskins been? And he came out with a video, which I'm going to watch later today. And he fucking showed up right here. Come on up and talk to us, Lucky. I'm going to drop the invite in. I have a few segments planned this morning, Lucky. I need to talk to Patrick from OTW News. We're going to have a Satanist come up here and debate a Christian. Although, Lumatami, I don't know. You say you're a Christian, but you really evidence no characteristics of what one might think a Christian would represent, dude. But anyway, Lucky, we're going to have a Satanist, our friend Axis Rat Blood, debate Illumitami, the alleged espoused Christian, and we're going to have Patrick from OTW News. But before that happens, let's see if we can get Lucky up here. Lucky, if you're not camera ready, that's okay. Lucky. Because I know for you to get camera ready, typically implies certain things. You know, you have to put your steel hat on and you have to stroke your beard 3 times. And, you know, and then I think Lucky's camera ready. Lucky says, was thinking about you yesterday, and here you are. Pretty wild. Look at that, Lucky. See how that happens? Links in the chat, everybody. Feel free to come on in. Axis, you can come up. Tommy, you can come up. Patrick, come on up. Tommy, don't get mad. I know you don't like being in the back, but I'm trying to get Lucky Haskins up here first, and then we can go in. Right, Lucky's the only guy on YouTube I've ever seen who does his camera prep after he goes live. Like Lucky uses the That's why we love you, Lucky. Lucky does his camera prep after he goes live. I mean, Lucky, that's your thing, dude. That's Lucky's bit. OTW News is in the back. All right, how's this? Let me do the OTW thing. Lucky, take your time. Get your shit ready. Lucky. Whenever you're ready, Lucky, come on in. Because I already have Access Rat Blood here in Illumitami. All right, so let me do the OTW News segment now. And then we'll see where we go after that. But Lucky, get yourself ready, Lucky. We'll talk to you in a little bit. I want to promote Lucky's show. Plus, I want to talk to him. Or Lucky's channel. He doesn't really do a show. Oh, wait, is Lucky here? All right, Lucky's here. We're going to Lucky first. Everybody else hang on, okay? We're going to go. There's a seniority thing here. We have a seniority thing. You know, age before beauty, Lucky. They say age before beauty, Lucky. Now, we don't really have any beauties here, so I don't know if we could really use that old adage of age before beauty. But either way, Lucky, I'm going to bring you on first. So let me give him a proper introduction. Right, Three Fingers. Three Fingers is excited as I am, I think. Guys, like and share the show. Stop keeping the show to yourself. Don't do that. It's not nice. You don't have to be the special boy. You don't have to be the secret king. You don't have to be the little prince. None of us are really that special. Really. You don't share the show. Anyway, let me give my next guest a proper introduction. My next guest is named Mr. Lucky Haskins. Lucky Haskins is his resume within the Trutherverse and the Truther community goes back all the way to the early 70s, when indeed Lucky Haskins was the first person to ever see a chemtrail. Lucky Haskins identified chemtrails in the early 70s before anybody else. He was an inquisitive young lad. He looked up in the sky. He saw a bunch of shit coming out of the back of a plane, and he said, that can't be right. What is that? And he asked his dad. He said, Dad, what the fuck is that? Out of the back of the plane. And his dad, like many, normies of the time who just engage in cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias, said, Lucky, young Lucky, that's not a chemtrail. They're not just trying to spray heavy metals in the sky to disrupt your energetic connection with the heavens. They're not trying to geoengineer the climate and the weather. No, that's just a plane jettisoning its jet fuel before it lands. Which, to most young children, they would have just accepted that insane, absurd explanation. Because does it really make sense that a jet would jettison its toxic jet fuel out all over the fucking earth before it lands? Why wouldn't it save the fuel? Why would it get rid of the fuel and waste it? So most little idiot kids would just accept that explanation and just go back amongst their day. They'd go back to whatever kids did in the early 70s. I don't know. I can't imagine there was much to do in the early 70s except smoke reefer and, have sex. But anyway, but not Lucky. Lucky, using his natural God-given sovereign intuition and logic, said, "That can't be right, Dad." And that begun Lucky's long journey through truth. So indeed, we're about to welcome the man who was the first person ever to identify chemtrails. All right? Not only that, Lucky Haskins has shown himself to be, let's say, a man of integrity and honor. He knows how to stick it to the man. Matter of fact, that's probably, I would guess, Lucky, much like me, it's at this point probably the only thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. Because what else is there, really? Except sticking it to the man. Anyway, without any further ado, I want to welcome my next guest, the man who knows that chemtrails are real, and he knows the Earth is not an impossible, spinning, wobbling space globe. He knows that for sure, much like myself. We can't tell you what this place is, even though all objective reality shows itself to be level and horizontal, but we can tell you what it's not. And we know it's not a stupid globe. Anyway, it's enough. I'm going to welcome my next guest to the show. This is the second time here in the Z Show. Without any further ado, let's welcome our good friend, Lucky Haskins. Lucky, welcome back to Z Show.
Hey, man. Thanks, brother. It's good to see you, little brother. Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute. Yep. Yeah, because I don't have a mirror. Can you hear me all right? Do you hear me?
5x5, as they say in the biz, Lucky.
Yeah,
5x5.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just using, the camera here to get myself ready. Hey, man. I was certainly not the first person to ever identify a chemtrail.
Well, Lucky, I mean, I don't know. We should just go with that. Even if you weren't, we should just say that you are. Oh, did Lucky freeze? I told you guys they were messing with my stream this morning. Lucky, reset it if you can hear me. Come back in. Lucky froze. Lucky, are you there? See, you get a legend like Lucky on and they fuck us up. I'm going to kick him out. Lucky, come back. Come back in, Lucky. I'm going to kick you out of the studio. You see how that happens, guys? I gave him that incredible preamble, and then he's gone. NTFG says, does Lucky live with his mom? No, he lives with your mom, NTFG. Lucky, come back. Yeah, no despair, Bear. We lost Lucky. Come back and see us, Lucky. Christy Lee Dolls is here this morning. I'd like to get her up here. Christy Lee Dolls, I'll scrap the whole show just to bring you up. We can do that. Yeah, Flatman X, do you know Lucky Haskins? I bet you do. If you guys don't know Lucky, you're missing out. Yeah, Papa Will says people were getting kicked off Paul's stream last night. It's weird. But they're still in the, I still have a Lumitami, Axis Rat Blood, and OTW in the back. All right, Lucky, see if you can come back on, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on to OTW news. We love the haters, Patrick. All right, everybody. Now, cleanse your palate. We'll get back to Lucky at another time. Some things are too good to be true. Lucky shows up, and then the controllers aren't going to let us have the combo. But we're going to move on. We're going to forge on. We're going to keep going. All right. Moving on. Our next guest, OTW News, Patrick. All right, Patrick, I already gave the preamble this morning. I love having you here, Patrick, but you see my OCD-like tendencies that I have, how I want to run my show. I probably have some bit of attention deficit issues. Sometimes I'm a little frenetic in my energy. So I like to have structure with my show, Patrick. So I want to bring you on, Patrick. I want to co-create with you, but I want to do it in a structured way. All right, so that's what I want to talk to you about now. So let me let you up. Let's have a conversation. My next guest needs no introduction. If you don't know Patrick from OTW News, then you don't know the Trutherverse, because Patrick is I would say he's one of the prominent members, maybe even, dare I say, one of the leaders of the Trutherverse and the Truther community at large. So anyway, let's welcome Patrick back to the show, OTW News. Good to see you, dude.
Peace. Thanks for having me. Yeah. I enjoy watching your show, Z. Pretty cool.
Cool.
Great.
Why do you say it like that, though? It's like you said that, but like reluctantly. It was like, oh, I have to admit, reluctantly, I enjoy your show. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I probably projected that insecurity.
There's no underlining thing there.
Gotcha.
You know, that made me that sounded like a woman, you know, hearing something that's not there when, you know.
Fair enough, Patrick. I could have been in my feelers at that point.
No, don't worry. I'm all good, man. I'm in a good mood. And just, you know, I wasn't even ready. Actually, I was like still in my jams. I had to quickly, you know.
All right. Man, well, good news, Patrick. Lucky said it was his. Lucky Haskins said it was his internet that fucked him up. So Lucky, come back up if your internet's on. We're gonna get you in this morning. I want to talk to you, dude. Patrick, I have to admit, I'm excited this morning. I could feel the energy. Like, so what happens, Patrick? Do you ever deal with this when you're streaming, where, you know, you feel the energy and then you're kind of getting ahead of yourself, but you don't want to get out of the gates too quick. So you try to rein it back in, and then you're trying to find that perfect balance, that harmonious point of energy where you can get into some state of equilibrium. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, but it's hard. It's not easy to gauge, man. It's like trying to control a wave, you know?
Right.
It's not something that's easy to keep things in balance. Like even trying to balance something on the tip of your nose. It's about the same concept there, you know?
Right. You know, because you have to have the understanding that it's a long game, Patrick. If we're going to be here doing this, if we're going to be these content creators, and you and I, it's not like, Patrick, we're content creators, but we're show hosts. We're basically like a radio show host, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Because I look at my show, I want my show to be an auditory experience. I want people to be able to listen to my show. I fell in love with radio years ago. I like the idea of radio or an auditory experience because you pop your headphones in, or you turn your speaker on, and you go about your day, right? You're driving in the car, maybe you're working in whatever capacity, and you could function. You could do other things as you're listening. Where if you have more visual elements to your show, where you're trying to explain things, you're trying to show things visually, it's a different vibe. So if you guys want to know the method behind my madness, I'm going for more of an old-timey radio show vibe. What's your thoughts on that, Pat?
Well, like I said before, I like the concept, and you know, I understand where you're coming from when you say that we're like, well, I consider myself like an announcer, right? So that's why I don't like you the way you do it. You monologue in the beginning. You do like an hour where you engage with the chat and everything, and that's, you know, I started off right off the bat with like, you know, with the link right away in the you know, pin at the top, and I right away, as quick as I can, get guests up and start trying to engage a conversation. It's a little bit like what you're doing, but in the sense that it's more like you're able. I don't know. I don't have the capacity to be a monologuer. I notice it. I don't speak well enough English, I think, in my opinion, to go off, and it becomes redundant. And I when I listen to myself, I get bored of listening to myself. So I try to keep it short. So when I say something, I don't be long-winded. I say it really short, and then I let other people respond, and I try to respond to what they're saying, but I try not to be long-winded like I'm being now. It can make the viewers go down. I've seen it happen before. I've even removed myself from stream and seen viewership go up. So I mean, I am not the highlight of the show, right?
Well, here's the deal. Look, Patrick, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and we just work off those. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. Just you make the best of what you have. You work on your shortcomings, and you just sort of go with it, man. And so I appreciate that. All right, so I wanted to sort of get down to my my idea. We'll see how you feel about it. All right. Like I said, I like what you do. I consider you a defender of truth, man. I think you're legit. You know, you're no pogo, as our friend Snafu Snaps like to say. When you look at this YouTube world, these YouTube streets, I think there's a lot of pogos, privately owned, government operated. You know, these people where, you know, in some way there's an agenda, there's an influence. I don't see any of that with you, Patrick. I just see you're legit. Like I said earlier, you're too legit to quit. I don't want to quit you, Patrick. I don't want to go full Brokeback Mountain here. You know, we don't need any clips being made of me and Patrick on Brokeback Mountain. You know, who would be Jake Gyllenhaal, and then who would be the other guy, whatever his name was. Who would be who? Patrick, if you and I were in some type of weird Brokeback Mountain relationship, who would be the top and who would be the bottom? I don't know.
Dude,
maybe we'll let the audience vote on that.
I'll tell you right now, first of all, I've heard the name of that movie before, but I've never watched it because I don't watch gay shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, so I couldn't even point
Gotcha.
out a scene in that movie because I've never seen that, man. I don't watch that.
All right, basically the whole movie is Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal engaging in gay sex. Pretty graphic.
So there you go.
See, fucking Moose
now that's
says
a good
Patrick,
reason why I didn't see that movie.
See, I'm upset. Moose, our friend Moose says that you, Patrick, would be Heath Ledger, and he was the top in that movie, which would make me the bottom. Moose, I don't know if I like that characterization. That kind of sucks. All right, thank you. Talcott Clip Connection said indeed should be the Heath Ledger top character. So I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, all right. Have we gone off the rails yet, Patrick? I think we have.
I don't know. I was actually thinking about Heath Ledger and the Joker, and I identify with Heath Ledger in that movie at least.
All right, well, listen, let's get this over with because I got Lucky waiting to come on, and then we have the main event for this morning. And I'm going to thank you, Illumitami and Axis Rap Blood. You're being patient, but you know, yeah, Axis gave me the thumbs up. We're going to get to you. You guys are going to be the main event, which is insane because by any sort of rational metric, Lucky Haskins should be the main event. But I already invited Illumitami and Axis up. So, all right, so let's get down to it, Patrick. Here's what I propose. The name of your channel is OTW News, right? Okay. So in the spirit of your channel name, I want to embrace that. So what I'd like is, frequently we do a segment. It's the OTW News segment on the Z Show. Basically, I bring you up and you give me the headlines from the world of the Truthiverse, right? So here's what I'm saying. I don't want you to come up and give me headline news. Like, I don't fucking care about what's going on in the Ukraine or China, all this geopolitical nonsense. I want you to come up and tell me the highlights of the Truthiverse. For example, you come up and you tell me, you know, who Illumitami's beefing with, or like I said the other day, does Christos have a new girlfriend, or, you know, whatever. Do you understand? Because I want to be in touch with the Truthiverse, but I can't spend all my time online. I'm trying to develop a life outside of here. But you seem to be really in touch with this whole Truthiverse thing, dude. Is this something you would be interested in? And then, of course, we could launch from there, dude, and we could talk about other stuff. But I want to have a shtick for you, dude, where you can come on and we hit him with a segment. Is that anything that you're interested in?
I like the idea, but that's still actually you're asking me to do a lot of work there, man.
No. You don't have to do work because, Patrick, we know that you're very engaged with this whole Truthiverse world. Probably more so than probably good for you. You're here all the time. We're not even sure you have a life outside of the Truthiverse. I know you do. I don't want to piss you off, but let's practice. We're going to do it right off the top of your head. And you know, our friend Paulie Boy's up early this morning, or maybe listening late. So, you know, so there's no pressure on you, Patrick. Don't get nervous because Paulie's here listening. So we're just gonna practice. This is a trial run. So okay, right now we're gonna do an intro to the OTW news segment. So right now I want you to think of 3 headlines you want to present me. Like I said, I'll give you an example. Christos is newly single, right? That's a headline, and then we can go from there. You know, or Illumitami appears to be back on the meth, which we all know he probably was never off the meth. But anyway, I'm gonna put you in the back. All right, and we're gonna do the segment. All right. Put him back here. All right, guys. Just a reminder for the crowd: we have Lucky Haskins waiting backstage, and then the main event for this morning, where you have Illumitami, who says he's a Christian, and he'll be debating Axis Ratblood, who's an avowed Satanist. And we're going to see which indeed is the better religion, Christianity versus Satanism. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do the Patrick thing. All right. All right, ready? All right, my next guest has a channel called OTW News. He's French Canadian, everybody. Which, again, don't hold it against him. We love all people here, even French Canadians. But OTW News is a news network here in the Truthiverse, and he's in touch. He has his finger on the pulse of the Truthiverse. He's going to come and he's going to give us the headlines all across the Truthiverse. Without any further ado, let's welcome our next guest from OTW News, Patrick. Patrick, welcome back to Z Show.
OTW! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to OTW News. Today on Breaking News for this segment of the show, we have Mr. Brian O'Shea, who's Breaking Bad on the Flat Earth community. And latest news as well, we have also Snafu Snaps, who is not able to have a coherent conversation today on any panel whatsoever in the Truther community. And just coming in right now, we also have here Paul Unslave, who is absolutely tired of all the nonsense of all the people and is presently singing in his trailer, If They Only Had a Brain. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and till the next time on OTW News, Breaking Stories. I don't know. Is that good enough for you?
Dude, all right, look, I got to admit, you nailed it. The only critique I would give is don't close it out after you're done. So give the headlines. What you should do is give the headlines one by one. Like, you give the headline, and then we talk about it. We chop it up. Then the second, then the third. That's my only critique. You understand?
Okay. Well, I figured you wanted me to blurt it out in one shot.
No. But everything you did was literally perfect. But that's my only. I'm going to give you notes here. Is that that intro was literally perfect. You give the first headline. I comment. We comment back and forth. You give the second, then the third. Then we go like that. All right. I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. We're gonna go from there. So each day have 3 prepared. You don't have to sit down and think about it. Like you see how you popped 3 right off your head? They were literally perfect. You came with
Brian O'Shea.
Snap O'Shea, then Snaps,
the first one, yeah.
then
Snafu Snaps and
Paul. Right.
The first 3 people that just popped into my mind and just like.
Right. Paul gave us an edit. He said, on the ground update, half the Truther community has my dick in their mouth.
That would have been good. A great headline.
It's hilarious. What the fuck are you doing up so early, Paulie? It's 5:25 in your world. What are you doing up, dude? Anyway, we're glad to have you here. Much love. All right, Patrick. I like this. How do you feel about this where we're going with this?
I like it. I was a little stressed, but yeah, I had fun. It was great.
All right, I wanted to bring up Lucky Haskins, but he fucking dropped out again. Lucky keeps dropping out. Lucky's he's not a boomer. I think Lucky would probably be considered a generation. He said he has to run. Oh, what a shame. Lucky, come back and see us another time, Lucky. Come back and see us another time. See, we went long with the segment. I lost Lucky. We'll get him up another time. All right. Much love, Patrick. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you again. Patrick, everybody. OTW News. Lucky says, you will probably still be live when I get home. I got to go to work, man. Painting. No, Lucky, I do my show from 6 to 9. From 6 to 9, bro. Yeah, another time, Lucky. Another time. That was sad. We missed Lucky. It was sad. I made a mistake there. Oh, no, I brought Lucky up first. It was his internet that was the problem. So, it was his internet. Glad to see you back, Lucky. Everybody check out the Lucky Haskins channel. If any of my mods want to drop a link for Lucky, go ahead. Go ahead. Christy Lee Doll says it was a lucky non-lucky. Right, it was the bit non-bit. Yeah, we'll do it another time, Lucky. I'm going to have to move on. I'm a bit crestfallen here. I'm a bit crestfallen. And we lost Lucky. All right, before I bring up my Illumitami and Rapalite, I think Moose is in the back. Moose, is that you?
Hey, brothers and sisters. I've just been hanging out with Mr. Brian O'Shea and backbiting, acting like a little bitch. When I say little, it's going to take more than a forklift to pick me up out of this chair. But everybody out there, Paul Enslaved is tired of being your fucking daddy. He wants to be a grandfather to you guys. Like, he wants to be proud of you and go and hang out with you and be able to entertain himself with you. But he doesn't want to have to sit here and have you weaning off his dick every day. That's all I had to say. And then the crowd. You motherfuckers come here every fucking day. Look, man, I wrote the hit single for Beyonce, and you guys can't even hit the goddamn like button. What the fuck is wrong with you retards? Have a good day.
Much love. And I was wrong. I thought it was Moose, but apparently it was Scott 2B. My mistake, everybody. Scott 2B. Founding member of Two Live Crew. Apparently. Yeah, to the left. Right, Paulie? To the left with Scott, like the Beyonce song. Which is funny, Paul, because I'd imagine if Scott 2B ever, tried to present himself on like a dating website, it's not Grindr. What's the other dating website? I'd imagine that a lot of people would be swiping left. Tinder. So maybe that's what he was referencing, Paulie, is that if anybody were ever to get a glimpse of Scott 2B on Tinder, they would definitely be swiping to the left, so to speak. I am having a good time, Paulie. Paul, the only way I could do this is by having a good time with it. Otherwise, I'll just go insane. All right. Let's move. Without any further ado, let's get Illumitami and Axis up here. They've been waiting patiently in the back. All right. I have to do this like a wrestling match, So who's the bigger draw here, guys? Is it Tommy or Axis? Because you got to introduce. It's usually the baby face that the heel gets introduced first, and then the baby face comes in. Sometimes the heel doesn't. If the heel's too much of a nobody, they don't even really get like a proper intro. Like they don't even get to walk in. They're just already standing in the fucking ring before you bring them up. But I don't want to do that to each guest. I guess Illumitami, in some weird twist of fate here, which I can't understand, is actually the baby face, which would make Rat Blood the heel. So we got to bring Axis Rat Blood in first. So, all right, guys. Today's matchup, we're going to have the Satanist, Axis Rat Blood, go against the Christian. Apparently, he's a Christian Illumitami. So let's bring him up. Axis Rat Blood, welcome back to the stream. Axis, I'm going to request it because the other day Axis Rat Blood was blasting us with a fucking hate frequency, as he calls it, or an irritation frequency. Axis, I'm going to ask you just to nod your head, not give me the yes or no by nodding your head either way. Can you promise to not blast us with any hate frequencies this morning if I bring you up here? Can you promise that? All right, he says yes. Because we found out that we have like people that watch with like babies and kids in the background. And Axis Rat Blood showing that he's truly a empathetic and heartfelt Satanist. He is a suburban Satanist. He doesn't want to hurt like young kids and innocent people. He has no problems like hurting any guilty individuals. He's not afraid to lay down the righteous judgment of his almighty Satan. But he doesn't, he doesn't want to hurt any kids. So he's promised he's not going to blast us with the hate frequency. So let's bring him up. Axis, welcome back to the stream, brother.
Hey, Z, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm still feeling pretty balanced. I'm feeling pretty harmonious this morning, Axis. So
Cool.
I'm trusting you that you're not blasting us with any hate frequencies.
No, it's shut down.
Cool. All right, Heidi, you don't have to be scared. So although you're not blasting us with any hate frequencies, have you summoned any demons this morning like you did the other day?
No, that was last night, but I did become inspired to write a very beautiful piece of music and video last night, which was from a satanic proverb of that when you have condemned yourself beyond all redemption of other gods, know that I, Satan, am here to receive you.
Fair enough. All right, Axis. So are you ready? Have you prepared yourself? Or like our friend Rob Cleveland says, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
I don't know, Paul. Did Rob lift that from you? Did I just misattribute that quote? Anyway. Right. So if you stay ready, you don't have to get. So it seems like you're ready to debate or at least dialogue with any Christian that might come along. I'd imagine you have a lot of practice with it.
Well, on the day of the hunt, it's better to be dressed as a hound than it is the fox.
All right. With that, do you know? Are you familiar with our friend Illumitami, Axis?
Slightly, yeah.
Okay, slightly. Let's bring him up. Let's welcome our next guest to the show. This is a man that really needs no introduction. He says he's Christian, although by all objective reality, he shows no indication of being so. I mean, he's an admitted meth addict, former meth addict, I don't know. He seems to be somewhere along the rainbow spectrum. He's not shy in with regaling us with stories of homosexual sex in airport bathrooms. But yet he says he's a Christian. I don't know, guys. I don't know if this next guest is really the best representation of Christianity. Maybe we should have got more like a toilet bowl earth guy or like Mr. Miyagi or any of you other insane doctrine-believing Christians. Because I'm just going to say it like this. If you're doctrine, word for word, Bible-believing Christian, I see you as no less insane than our friend Axis Rat Blood here. Who knows? Maybe I could be wrong. Anyway, let's welcome our next guest to the show. Illumitami. Welcome, Illumitami.
It's like you're trying to talk yourself out of like a coffee break, man. Let's tighten this up. Now, you got it straight right now. You were going to have us on the left and right as if we're sitting on shoulders. No, come on, Z. He's the devil on your shoulder. I'm the angel on
Hold
the
on.
shoulder.
I got to take myself out of it because it's not really about me. All right.
But I found out what you're going to do because me and Axis are cool. He knows I'm going to tighten this up, move it along. I think you should be throwing us scenarios. He says what his Satan worshiper ass would do in the scenario. I say what my Jesus walker, not claiming the Christian typical CD commercial style that is prevalent today.
All right,
I just
fair enough.
claim to be a guy. I'm not
We're getting
perfect.
notes. We're
I
getting
think
notes
the
from Tommy
Jesus
here.
thing is a good idea. I'm gonna put my ducks on that row this time, and even if there's nothing but desolate abyss nothingness, the sweet nothingness sleep of the fetal space baby place, still a quality way to live life, I think. And the
All right,
closest anyone in this community is gonna get. You mentioned Toilet Bowl Earth. I about lost my shit. I'm just finishing up my hit piece or my meme video that I live ripped his ass and turned it into a commercial. It's fucking last minute genius, if I do say so myself.
good for you, Tommy. You're getting your promotion out right out of the gate. So
Yeah, good for me. Not one video. You're not headlining OTW. You actually sit on your channel and beg your panel to carry you every day, and you quit your job for that. Let's go.
All right, can we see you, Tommy? Is that something
I
we could do here?
can cam if you want. Just give me a second to like put on a shirt and find a Christian like filter or something. No, I can't use them because I'm uploading this shit. So yes, let me get a shirt. God
Tommy
damn
getting a
it.
shirt. Tommy, weren't you a prize fighter at one point, dude?
I was pretty good. I prided my fighting on more like need than trophies. I would say most of my losses or turnouts that didn't go the way I wanted were largely egoic intentions of fighting, and every time I was backing up somebody that I felt it justified to do so or I felt they were being wronged, I was usually like breaking out some Marvel,
All right.
some Hollywood Marvel version of myself.
Just a note to my audience. I'm already regretting this segment somewhat.
Yeah, because
so I'm
you
already
called me.
feeling. Yeah.
I never claimed to be an addict. I said I did meth. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars on meth, not selling it. I never said I was an addict. I've even mentioned I'll probably do it again. And you know what you need to do, Z? Is Lucky was sent here for Christy Lee Dolls to mention Lucky, as it's your lucky day that you guys need to just fuck and spare us this bullshit already. Fly out. You're obviously not back on that construction yard tip. Fly to Chris. This is the Christian opinion in this scenario you give us. Fly out to Christy Lee Dolls, have her pick you up at the airport, and let's see how long it takes you to get back.
That's not how it works, Tommy. See, you're already off. You're supposed to fly the
Never been
fly the bitches out to
Spidey
you.
type gym rat.
You don't go to them. You fly them to you.
Oh, if you've got those means and you aren't embarrassed to have a woman in your mom's basement, and I think you'd still get laid. That's why I'm telling you to fly out there, have twice the fun.
Are you going to cam up, Tommy? We can't just have access.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to get the audience something. My face is even bigger than usual in this weird view.
And
it's
that
too much
reminds me too. Before you take the freedom of me already camming and submitting, and I hit this goal, when you guys come on at 6 a.m. and ask if I ever sleep, it's only 4 a.m. here. Like everybody stays up till 4 a.m. when they have hate projects to do.
God, I'm regretting this segment more and more with each fucking passing segment.
Yeah, I got to turn my camera around, but keep going. We're ready. Go ahead. I'm working on it.
See, this is the problem, guys. I open it up to the.
Hey, man.
I open the panel up, and this is what happens. All right, here he is.
At least I gave a proverb.
You gave a what?
All right, Tommy. Ready? Let's go.
He's the Satan side. He misleads my people with false Hunter S. Thompson quotes.
Right, Tommy Remorse. I'm having Tommy Remorse right now, which I'd imagine that is pretty ubiquitous amongst anyone who tries to deal with Tommy in any way whatsoever.
Better. If you use so much open time reading the chat, at least read the correct information. But nothing against Axis. Scenarios, please. So
let's go. We're gonna bounce this out first. All right, Axis is ready. You're ready. Let's just start off with, an appetizer into the
mega round at the end is he has to offer me the earth.
Stop giving me notes. I don't want your notes, Tom.
Have you read the Bible?
This isn't about me.
I bet the Satanist knows more Bible than the host.
All right, let's start off. Axis Red Blood. What brought you to Satanism? Just give us a little bit into your journey towards the almighty Satan. Were you brought up as a Satanist? Like, were your parents fucking Satanists? Did you Were you like some other religion first, and then you just discovered the benefits of it? What's up?
I found that Satanism and Satan was not a restricting God. He doesn't put chains and shackles and requirements on you to limit yourself from living life to its fullest. And indulgence. And the Christian God has been nothing but a complete mockery and failure as far as it's been represented to me. I have yet to meet anybody who can substantiate anything that validates this God that they worship and follow all these rules for.
All right. Fair enough, Axis. But can it not be said that, man left in and of and to his own devices can only lead to his own destruction? Shouldn't there be some idea of restraint, some restrictions, even if it's our own self-restraint, given some divine order? I mean, if we were just left to do without will, so to speak, wouldn't that just literally just destroy humanity and keep us in some place of like utter desolation? Anyway, I'm just asking. It's a rhetorical question, but let's go to Tommy. Go ahead. You can respond.
I follow natural law, man. Nature itself sets down a set of rules and laws inscribed in the mathematics that will teach you how to get along with nature and man.
All right. So that was your response. Luma Tommy, same question to you, man. What brought you to Christianity? Because just looking at you, just being exposed to you for these months, Tommy, you don't come off as the prototypical Christian by any means. But yeah, it's kind of weird that you're taking. But
I don't come off.
How did you find your way to Christianity? Tell us a little bit.
I was forced there at an early age by a small town family that had their own issues and decided the best bet is beat his ass and take him to church, and then if we fuck up, at least we beat his ass and took him to church. But they were quality parents, I'm finding, for the most part, compared to a lot of
this is your testimony. I'm asking you for basically your testimony to Christianity. Most Christians would come up and they would give us something that we could work with. They would talk about maybe some troubles they were going through in their life, and they turned to Christ and they felt some type of transformative experience.
Oh, you want that?
Maybe they were hit with you just went along with some crazy story. All right, no, dude.
No, while I was under a roof, I would do that way, whether in any context, whether it's school schedule, what I watched on TV. I mean, but if you went the left and came back, I left for most of my life in Colorado. It was like 15 years. And thanks to that upbringing, as soon as all this oblivious people, cashless coming quick, 2 possible Bidens, probably some details I'm forgetting stood out too obvious. I'm not telling this dude that there's not going to be a Satan or a Lucifer. I speculated Lucifer and Jesus were the same person, as some people in the chat know. But yeah, man, I went back just off of what I see as obvious revelations play out, whether it's Pisces into Aquarius or a destruction that's the Christian version of Kali coming to destroy for rebirth. I don't know. I just might even have an ingrained thing that's resurfacing because I'm conditioned. Who knows?
Fair enough, Tom. All right, cut it off there.
Oh, I had a good closing. I was about to close.
All right, go ahead, close it out.
Okay, good host. Even if Jesus didn't walk this earth, I've just found it in both the outlook of life and how to live preferable.
All right.
I find myself in the land.
I don't even know how to paraphrase. See, part of broadcasting is you paraphrase what the person just said, and then you bounce it to the. I can't even paraphrase. I can't even paraphrase anything you said, dude. That's how fucking off the wall you are. There's no way for me to even try to encapsulate anything you just said.
Exactly. Okay. These are hard questions to encapsulate. So if you just gave us each the same scenario, let us say how we'd handle it and why. I think we could all get
I
there.
gave you the same question.
You don't
Tommy,
hear me, Z.
You're gonna
You
make,
have to find. You have to find your logic in hearing how we handle a situation and why. And because I believe that's why he feels the way about the religion that I choose not to go by that label, because I agree with what he's saying. I think people just have the wrong idea of it. And maybe that's the control, is to make a hippie pacifist guy that you don't get what he was trying to say. Like everyone thinks that just the nicest.
all right, it's enough, Tommy. That's enough. That's enough. I'm putting the brakes on. Just chill out.
It's hard
Just chill out.
to try and.
It's hard to do
explain on
anything.
an
with you, Tommy.
OTW
I'm
level.
going to give
It's
you
hard-
some quick entertainment here to show you my devoutness to the lesser gods.
Hold on, I gotta sideways my phone. What's he showing? What's he showing? I don't want to miss it.
Axis, nobody
Those
knows
are
what
all
you're showing
lesser
there.
gods. From
Is that a
Lucifer,
Warhammer 40K
Satan,
army?
Kali. No, it's a representation of all the lesser gods.
Okay. Oh, you mentioned Kali too, like I did?
Kali, yeah, Kali. She's part of the Naga sect. I happened to study Naga under Shiva.
Right. Aren't like Kali and Shiva similar, and aren't they both India? Like
They're
India
Their
continent
aspect,
religion?
Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva.
So which one, sir, is the one depicted in the statue?
I'm
at
not
the
here to
CERN?
teach you.
Huh?
I'm not here
No,
to
which
teach
one?
you.
Do you know the CERN statue? Yeah, CERN statue.
Shiva.
Like, you know CERN, where they collide the.
Shiva.
Okay, it's Shiva. That's all I want. Because they both are like chicks with a bunch of arms, right?
No, it's a male. It's actually an androgynous aspect, but he takes on a male form incarnate when he's
Good to
destroying.
know.
All right, let's move on. Although I
bad time
appreciate
to
this
reference
banter.
the
I
dick
appreciate
girl.
this banter, but let's move on. Moose, producer extraordinaire of the Truthiverse, is recommending I just cut the fucking segment.
Oh
Moose
my
wants me
God!
to-
What?
yeah.
So, yeah,
Moose
because
is
everyone was
recommending that
on the
that I
edge of
just
their seat. Like,
fold.
how does one of the biggest rights and freedoms rebellious dudes on YouTube have a spokesperson that robots the message at like every time? He's like, clockwork, I'm gonna say the Paul spiel. You would think Paul would bring somebody
Because I
with
come
more
here to
like,
represent my God and deity. You come here to represent yourself.
no, I thought that was the Satanist.
Yeah, I come here to represent Satan. I come here to stand on my devoutness to Satan. You only spoke of yourself, and
Oh no, I do
Diversionary.
admit I got off track. What I wanted to say to
you
the
are off
response
track.
here-
And I wouldn't blame Z for shutting this down.
Oh, come on, man. It's like a 6 a.m. show for. I'm not
It
even
doesn't
gonna pull
matter.
the shape debate into this.
Well,
I
pray to
think
your
you-
fucking God and get him to get you to snap too.
No, can we, since Z disappeared with his bullshit questions, can we just start a mulligan do-over and you decide, like, yeah, just start fresh and I'll respond.
What makes you think you're a Christian? I see you more as a heretic.
I don't agree that I'm living your description of Christian.
I never described what I saw a Christian as.
Well, your thing you said on, I don't remember Z's question because I didn't have a lot of faith in how he was going to do this.
So apparently
But I don't
your
remember.
God wipes your memory out whenever it comes to answering questions and you have to resort back to you or Z.
No, I like, that's why I
Jesus
like it.
fucking
I told
Christ
him we
for
met
you.
Axis. I
For the love
believe
of
that I'm,
Satan and all
I'm
his demons.
so listen, I am personally trying in my life to do what I think is the wishes in my relationship with God. And I'm never coming, like, in the moment of violence or theft or something that's, like you said, common law, I will stand up for that. But as far as I know, a lot of my deity's teachings was far more each of us is to come on our own accord
in relation to Allah's been the knee shit. You know, like Jesus is like, I hope you show up. So who am I to tell anyone else? I might tell them the good news. I might ask Mr. Axis, do you have a moment to talk about the good news? The Rust kids love that. I might ask a
I
cult
wouldn't
member if
share
they
good
have a
news
seat
with
at the
much of
welcome
anybody
table.
because it would bring them pleasure.
What's that?
I'm not here for anyone's pleasure. I'm not here for their enjoyment.
I'm not here for my pleasure. I'm not here for
I'm
my
here for
pleasure.
your pleasure.
No, I've been telling the London crowd that all their, just like with Ian, all this high vibes, good feels only, that's not progress. Progress is pain, suffering, struggle,
Can be, yeah.
dick girls.
Growth. Most certainly.
Why would the Satanists not be living to the fullest dick girl options of Satan worship? Is that not where hentai dick girls originated, with tentacle penises?
I don't know about tentacle penises or anything of that nature, but
you have no shame of pleasure and sexual do what thou wilt, right? And you guys aren't taking full advantage of like hentai dick girl tentacle penises?
With my health in mind, I mean, if I want a couple fucking girls, then I'll go get a couple girls, but I'll keep my safety and health in mind so I don't contract whatever massive disease that nasty cunt has got up inside of her after receiving the load of half a dozen guys probably that week. Not interested.
Is Nurgle not like the king of 7th level hell or something? Isn't he like the herpy Nurgle king? Wait, that's 40K.
Look, if you're going to pray to gods of lust as Modeus,
dude, you know it was my deity that put thousands of nerve endings in a man's asshole, right?
You can't prove that.
No, that's science. And I'm not saying it has to be a male
science
penis.
Science has nothing to do with God. And God has nothing to do with science.
Wouldn't you think that when God claimed homosexuality a sin, it was on the day he put that G-spot in a man's asshole?
I would say it's for the fact that it's naturally an exit.
And don't you ever take a really good poop and think about, hey, there was something a little relaxing about that? Like when you really cranked out
I'm a fecophilia or
no scat, sir. No scat.
Yeah, fecophobia, man. I don't take shit on my dick, man.
But what I'm trying, not even from a female, because once a female is
fucking gross, man.
Once a female is taking it up the ass pretty regularly, it just naturally stays.
I wouldn't know, man. That to me is abomination. That to me is.
Oh my God, sir! Can I get a Satanist, please?
Of yourself.
Can I get a Satanist? But okay, before you shut down at the idea of anal sex, I'm trying to get at, I think my deity wired my hairless monkey according to a lot of shit he wanted me to abstain from. Thus, like what's the big deal about, huh?
Tell me what animals in nature are fucking each other in the ass. See, I'm a natural law person. I believe in natural law. Nature teaches me. And I have yet to see
dolphins rape each other, bro. Dolphins rape each other, and they don't keep it to their species.
That's a far cry from sodomy.
To rape as a understanding creature that they tell humans that swim with dolphins the cautions of what you don't want to do to instigate that shit. Because our ladies be in the ocean where they don't belong, in that abyss of dolphin rape.
So that's the best you can come up with for sodomy is dolphin rape.
Science? No, we've abandoned the religious debate because I've found the one and only Satanist that has a problem with like anal and.
All right, we need to take a break. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're still here. Tommy, relax. Axis, relax. I see you, Tommy. Calm down. Let's bring OTW back up. I felt like we needed an intermission there, Patrick.
Yeah.
Let's give it, maybe we come in with the play-by-play regarding this insane conversation, this presentation here this morning. What do you make of this so far? What are your thoughts?
Well, I said in chat, you're brave, man, to do this segment on your show, but I see the numbers going up, and so seemingly the audience is enjoying it. So
numbers go up and down, dude. It's an ebb and flow. It's an ebb and flow.
I tend to, I don't know. I would never have Illumitami on my show anymore. That's for sure. That's why I say you're brave, man. I don't know. It's like it's supposed to be a debate on Satanism and and Christianity and God. He's talking about getting fucked up the ass.
Right. It always goes there with Tommy. You really can't give him any topic or structure.
The guy is not broadcast worthy. Z. I wouldn't.
Who, Tommy?
I wouldn't put him up. Yeah, no, not at all.
Are you putting Tommy down?
He
you don't think I should have him up?
No, I shouldn't have him up at all. He's not. He's no one likes him. First of all, maybe some people do, but I don't. And second of all, he's not coherent. Can't answer a question. A simple question. It has to be long-winded to the point where you can't even follow what the fuck he's saying. Right. Then like you said before, you try to paraphrase it. You can't even fucking encompass anything because he goes off on like a fucking, like fireworks, all over the fucking place. It's just broadcasting fucking dynamite.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
It's hard to disagree with you. Is it possible that you're in some way
biased?
Are you feeling a little competition against Tommy? He is starting his own news network. You have a news network.
Not at all. Good for him.
Gotcha.
Good for him. Oh God, yes. Maybe he'll fucking leave us alone.
Right. Paul says, "Who's going to sanitize the panel when they leave? It smells like herpes in there."
I'll send up the cleaning crew. Don't worry about
it. Gotcha. Yeah, Andrew B. I know you just got here. We have our resident Satanist, Axis Rat Blood, here to debate, I guess, our Christian friend, Illumitami, who. Patrick, how could he call himself a Christian? He embodies nothing.
Exactly what I was going to say. What are you talking about? Christian? He's not Christian. He doesn't even know what Christianity is. The guy is like not a good, in my opinion, was a good representation for the other side. If you were having a debate here, I think Rat Blood was doing a good job representing his God, but we didn't have a good, representer for the opposing side. So this is the issue.
Right.
I agree with Mr. Axis when he said that Illumitami was bringing it back to him and not focusing on the topic.
Right. I agree. I agree that we probably could have chosen a better representative of the Christian side. Paul Enslaved seems to think that the panelists most likely have hepatitis. What are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't know. I could not confirm or deny that.
Right. All right, let's bring him back up. Thanks, Patrick, for coming in.
No problem.
The play-by-play. This is why we love you, Patrick. Like I said, you do have your finger on the pulse when it comes to all things truth-averse. Let's get him back up here. Let's bring up Tommy first, which is probably a mistake. You still there, Thomas? Cool. What are you trying to say? You can't hear me? There goes Tommy. He's doing something with his equipment. Let's bring up Rat Blood while Tommy's getting his equipment straight. Who knows what he's up to?
Yeah,
Axis. So, hold on, Axis. Surprisingly enough, dude, a fair percentage of the chat seems to be in your corner, dude. How do you feel? You may indeed be persuading some people towards Satanism. Maybe I am doing a disservice to the world at large here by putting you up against Illumitami because, in comparison, you're making in comparison, Satanism's looking pretty good this morning. So I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think?
I've been a devout Satanist and an omniist for a very, very long time.
Right.
And it's done me an incredible amount of not only mental, but physical wealth of good.
Right. Well, let me ask you, can't one say access rat blood, but that's sure. That's the allure of Satanism. That's the whole thing, is that, it'll lead to some type of earthly benefit, earthly goods. But can't we make an argument to say that, wouldn't it better idea to build your treasure in heaven, that by building yourself here and establishing these earthly rewards is really only serving to bind yourself here? I asked you the other day, aren't you worried about binding yourself to this realm? A lot of the Christian doctrine shows that we're approaching the end of the ages, so to speak, and that, like our friend Svetlana said the other day, that we're maybe moving into a new energetic time in our reality, and that there's going to be a moment, a window that opens up, where, look at it as the proverbial, revelation that you see during the apocalypse, or even the quote unquote rapture, which I know isn't strictly scriptural. But my point is, if indeed there's, we're coming to this end of the ages potentially where we could escape this fucking simulation, this soul trap matrix that they seem to have us in, could you be gambling with your soul, with your spirit, by binding yourself here? Aren't you afraid in some way that you're gonna really damn yourself to this realm?
Two things to answer that question. One is the Christian church in all three of its Abrahamic forms have killed more people than any demon or Satan that I've ever encountered. And secondly is, to meet the criteria that God requires for one to get to heaven in an orthodox sense, I'm not interested, man. I come here to live an experience. I didn't come here to be restrained and bound. And as far as the Son of God, that's yet to be solidified. That's still as speculative as whether the earth is flat, round, or square, as speculative as what the government has in a DARPA hangar somewhere.
All right, fair enough. I don't know. Some may say you're drawing, maybe a number of false equivalencies there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let's bring Tommy back up. Tommy, welcome back to the stream.
Happy to be here.
Oh, okay.
I
Let's get
forgot
ourselves
a few
together
key
here.
points. It's different now because this is beast system end times, and in that stance, I'm the heel. He's the baby face wrestler, and that's why things are a little different.
All right.
As far as that.
No,
Tommy,
because you still fear. You have fear in you, Tommy. Anyone
Fear?
that would submit themselves over to a restraint or any type of containment of free will as you want it.
No, he gave us
It would
free
be
will.
out of
We
fear.
believe in free will.
And I say that my God allows more will and freedom than your God does.
Mm-hmm. And your God reinforces all the usually worse directions you could take. That's why the heretic Talcott, he feels so confident to speak heresy and falsities because he feels that, oh, it's bliss, brother. Every time I say this thing, I know that's God because it's bliss. You know who else thinks they see God? Everybody on all the hard shit that.
Well, I don't use Satan as a crutch, okay? Satan is a tool that is utilized in places where I can't infect my will when I choose to. So I just call in a God that's willing to work with me. Because the Christian God probably would consider the most of what I do to be blasphemy towards him.
I doubt it, man. I mean, you seem to abstain pretty well from some things I'm supposed to not do so much, and You're disgusted by it.
Look, I'm not going to go back there with you because until I see.
No, we're not going to go back there. I want to
Animal-
find the next thing that a Satanist would probably do or not do that you disagree on. Let's keep cooking. Because
we live our life without fear and restraint.
I think that you're a Satanist for the same way that these people are Discworlders, and the same reason that a 7th grade girl suddenly takes on Wiccan pagan shit, because it's not
It's all an
proper
aspect
or
of energy.
approved of. Huh?
It's an aspect of energy. Didn't you hear the
Right,
beginning
but
of the
there's
show?
an aspect of my globe belief and my
And
skydiving
energy,
shit that
frequency, and vibration.
everyone always comes at me like I'm just believing it because I was told to. And no, man, I've fucking Keanu Reeves that shit all my life trying to challenge my own belief to see. And I know all the cognitive things. I took my science directions. I know that I gave the consideration that I was conditioned as a child. I give the consideration of like, oh, I'm looking for it or I desire it. But there was a lot of years I was not thinking of it, walking away to see what happens. I've just, for my decision, I'm rolling with it, and I'm not directing anyone that doesn't get into an interaction with me that doesn't constitute a mention. Like, I don't go out on the corner and stand on a soapbox. I'm not making a YouTube channel for it. But when me and London Man were talking private, and just some of the whole, did this really happen in these things we hear about, like those conversations, something went the direction where I was like, oh, I'll just tell you now, dude, I'm definitely intelligent deity. I don't picture it as a 2-leg, 2-arm, 1-head person, but I even can speculate the aspects of like Lucifer and Jesus being just concept state of minds that by that story
They're no
or
different than the Anunnaki,
get
man.
yourself there. You still get yourself through the modified version of what was a different religion or whatever, you know? I get questionable in any places that seem that's highly needed for a control scare thing. And it also seems to go with a specific ruler's version. I always leave those up to like, hey, I might go to hell for believing in dinosaurs. So I'll tell you that there wasn't a Noah's Ark story. Or if there was an event like that, it wasn't the Noah's Ark version.
It's irrelevant to this day and age. It's irrelevant to this moment.
But I'm trying to get to you on when you come at me of what you think Christianity is and why I didn't come up here
It's
saying.
by its representation of its followers that I judge Christianity.
Right, and do I call myself a Christian, but also say I'm probably the closest we're going to get from this community that would sit here and tell you about butt sex?
Well, butt sex is not my interest and not my
There's just a
concern.
little, that's the entertainment value, dude. It's like OTW doesn't get it, so I'm banned forever because he's still mad about early Paul stuff.
Well, that's
and then
got
even when
nothing to do
I'm
with what's going
trolling.
on
I'm
here.
trolling from we're headlining over him. He's a piece of shit. He's from Canada.
So-
Sorry, go on, sir. If you're a Satanist that hates OTW, I'll put in a good word for you at the pearly gate. Probably get you in
No, I
there.
don't like OTW.
Good.
No,
Then
that-
see, ding, one agreement.
There's
God,
quite a few people I despise.
he's like a female.
And I wish
Sly
to do
Gun.
them as much influential harm as I can in the metaverse.
Then
I love you, brothers.
oh, you're gonna play the Talcott card because you don't have any overly loud sound bites to play too much. God, you played into that OTW. You played one, and I said, oh, now that he played one, he's just gonna roll with it, and you did it. That's not reverse psychology, Paul and Slave. That's a stupid fucking Canadian that might have a nice car I haven't seen a good look at. Oh, he's Talcotting me. He's Talcotting me. Well, the Satanist doesn't like you either. He's not going to let you take this. Like, I got to turn the other cheek. He's going to fucking stab you in your eye.
No, because the other
I'll
day
pray for you,
OTW
OTW.
had
I'll
the
pray
prayer
for that
chain on
stabbed
his
eyeball.
channel. That was quite amusing. A complete
What was that?
blithering idiot as far as religion and history of religion goes, and he's got
No.
people on his panel discussing religion.
And this motherfucker is a piece of shit because he won't tell you some of my best shit was on his panel, and he sits up there trying to cater to my enemies or just people that casually say bad shit about me. Oh, Tommy's banned. Tommy doesn't know shit. He doesn't bring shit. Dude, bring Christos up here. Have him cite like numerous times.
That's another bitch, Christos.
Yeah, he's coming along. He's a young guy. He's coming along. Hey, OTW, remember the time you let Voy call me a bundle of sticks, small hat? But then as soon as the trans lady came up, everybody just, oh, milady, yes, let us ask about the trans lady with respect.
This is the moment for me
And
to
I'm just a
glorify my
fucking
God in
bundle
the
of sticks,
spotlight.
small hat. I'm
Let
not
my
up here
God
in
have
small
his
hat.
glory. Quit stealing the glory from my God. Really.
All right. It's about enough of that. See, that's what I get, guys. That's what I get for going to the panel. One of these mornings, I'm just going to come up here. It's going to be just me riffing to you guys. Sometimes it's a mistake. It seems like anytime Illumitommy's involved, it seems to be a mistake. No matter what it is. There's really nothing that can include Illumitommy that equals anything rational, coherent, or functional. It's literally impossible. He just makes it so hard to include him in anything. Although I have to admit, Tommy, because I know you're still back there, I do find you interesting. There's something about Tommy that's compelling, you know? There's something about it. No, I know, Axis said you asked me up. I actually appreciate you. I'm going after Tommy, Axis. Let me bring Axis up. He's getting butthurt. Rat Blood. See, I don't want to get on your bad side, Rat Blood. I don't need to be.
No,
I don't need you blasting me with
just
any hate frequencies. I don't need you to influence the field in it. But you know, I have a weird way of thinking, Axis. I like to sort of hedge
Well, I
my
sent
bets
you a
on all
video
terms. So, you know,
in the
go ahead.
comment section for you to research. Of yesterday's show, I sent you a link to a particular bit of information. Obviously, you haven't gotten to it.
Well, I saw your comment, but I didn't see the link. I'll go back.
Yeah,
I saw
the
your
link
comment.
should be just above the comment that says "I can teach you."
Right. How did you send me a link? You're not modded on my channel, are you?
It was in the chat or the comment of your yesterday's video.
Oh, I don't think if you're mod, I don't think you could put links in regular comments. I don't know. I'll look. I don't know, Axis Replit. I don't know how inclined I am to explore the philosophy and the doctrine of Satanism, dude. It's
about how sound affects the DNA, your body, and the research that they have done on it, and how extensive it's gotten with frequency, sound, music, vibration, energy, and what they're capable of doing with just general resonance on commercial radio, CDs. What I can do here is just absolutely phenomenal, but I sent you information on it.
All right, fair enough, Axis. I don't know how many people are going to be inclined to press any link that you send them, because you might be setting some type of satanic frequency sound trap for us all. I'm not sure, dude.
Damn right.
Yeah, see?
That's instinctively good thinking.
Right. So you're telling me, you know, to not trust the Satanists. That's probably good advice. See, that's the thing about the Satanists, and, you know, they have to tell you. Let me ask you about this, Axis Red Blood. When it comes to dark magic, black magic, the idea, it's sort of a revelation of the method philosophy, right? You have to, Axis, you have to tell me that you're going to basically be hexing me or otherwise before you actually do it, because then I'm choosing the magic.
I will present you with the truth of my deed before I do it.
Right.
Now,
that's all part of the.
I want to present that.
Right.
May vary.
that's all part of the natural law thing, right? The universal order thing is that I have to choose my enslavement. I have to choose the
Yes.
spell. And I think
Yes.
that philosophy runs across this whole realm, is that a lot of us, we can talk
That's
about our
why-
enslavement, we can talk about the tyranny of this world, but the reality is we have to choose it. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, well, that's why it's been so easy to create so much damage and disorder, is because most of these channels and these truthers are so self-consumed that even with me announcing what I'm getting ready to do, their arrogance and their ego, which the government has used against them with frequencies, vibration, TV, and radio, I do the same. I'm getting ready to fuck you. And they all spread their ass cheeks and go, you can't fuck me. Well, guess what? I'm no different than the fucking government. Welcome to 5G.
Oh, sometimes I don't even know. All right, so before I end this segment and move on, let's bring Illumitami back up. We want to give him his fair share. All right, Tommy. I don't want you to feel like I'm excluding you in any way, brother, but you're here, Tommy. I'm not sure, Tommy. I think the audience will have to decide how you did this morning, how
In
Axis did.
typical fashion, all the
I'm not
valid
sure we
stuff-
really learned anything this morning, guys, but it is.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
you
Tommy.
should have
Push.
talked this shit while I was here. I agree with the frequency thing. I also agree that his deity he takes false control over him by convincing him that him and the government are doing what you were wired to be. You as a hairless monkey human, which is your simulated experience of your God soul, it's just wired to be that. And you just need allowed and encouraged, and you'll already be like, I wanted to do that anyway.
All right, fair enough, Tommy. Fair enough. Fair enough. Tighten it up, Tommy. Tighten it up.
I'm uploading a video for entertainment as we speak.
Much love.
How long is
let me promote you, Tommy. Don't step over my promotion.
No, I want you to watch it. How long is 4 megabits going to take to upload?
Tommy,
to
you get your way, dude. You're tripping over your apparently enormous dick, as you.
No, I'm trying to save your morning show.
Morning
shows
I need
have
you
to be
to
like, black guy in the races. Right. Has to get you to work. Has to get you up and ready to work. Put up with your slave job, with your tyrannical boss. I'm trying to do that for you and your viewers, D. I made a fucking video to trash Toilet Bowl Baby. It's good. It's good.
All right, everybody.
There's some gems in it.
Love.
How long
Check out Illumitami and Spurged Out
upload?
News Network. I'm just going to talk. I'm giving you a promo. You're just going to check out Illumitami on Spurged Out News Network.
I'm not in it for the numbers. I'm in it for beast system trolling.
You got it, Tommy. You're going to save us all. You're
No, there is no save. You just lose correctly. If it's prophecy, you don't stop that, Mr. Talcott. Wars are required.
Much love, Tommy. Much love. We love you, Tommy. I get a feeling that Tommy will just keep talking to himself, even if he's completely disconnected. He'll just keep talking.
It's quite possible.
All right, Axis Rat Blood. Sometimes I wonder with you, Axis, if I'm not, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing sometimes, bringing you up here. You give Satanism a good name, or at least you paint it in somewhat of a more positive light than many of us would imagine. So I don't know if I'm really helping the cause or not, but either way, Axis, you are what you are, dude.
Yep.
Any closing thoughts for the listening audience?
Just remember, when you prepare for an adventure, make sure you pack well. Because Satan, he's already ahead of you. May the beast be with you.
And also with you, Axis. And also with you. It's good to put a more friendly face on Shaitan. We make Shaitan a bit more palatable here. Hell, here's the way I look at it, guys. You should be able to stand on your doctrines. You should be able to stand on what you believe in or what you accept as true in this reality. Mr. Ratblood seems to do pretty well at it, regardless of what one might think. All right, we need to change the vibes up a little bit here. My next guest is going to help us do that. My next guest comes to us from southwest of Eden. That's right. I see you back there. See you back there nodding your head. Like I said, some may refer to his land as Sweden, but he knows the true derivation of the name. It's southwest of Eden. Because Renegade One, much like myself, he likes to wonder about this reality, this realm, this earth. Is it possible that the mythical land of Eden is located somewhere in the center of the realm, up north? If so, that would make sense. Anyway, here's our man, southwest of Eden, Renegade One. Welcome back to the stream.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. I've been listening now. I mean, I see the thing as well. I got some questions in myself. It's like, how can you put so much energy on a guy with breast or a Jesus with Gloria and say, this is the shit? I'm like, the fuck is that dealing with, you know? And we talk about southwest of Eden. Look at the Vikings. They had 8 gods, but still I'm the god. Why should I worship something outside of my body, you know? Because if I do that, it's going to be conflict, as you had now with Axis, Peace Axis. We've been hanging around a bit on Ian's bullshit news TV, and I've seen you before, and you talk about frequencies and say, yeah, but listen to Axis music. It's kind of dark. When I make music, it's more bright and light. And I would like to have fun. I don't want like to sit and argue about a guy with breasts called Balpamist or a fag-ass Jesus or whatever you call it. That's not my type of vibe. Look at the Vikings. They did 8 gods, you know? And when I'm listening to this, it's like, do we have time for this? And I'm glad that you bring this up today. It's a rough one to bring up. Maybe this is yin and yang, but I don't choose the black or the light. I'm in the between instead. For me, that is more the people that hang around with these people that are confident in themselves, not searching outside of themselves, you know. That's the good vibes that I can represent. What do you say about that, C? Are you the God, or who is the God? And it's just a book, and we can sit and blah, 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 but they written this and they wrote this and blah, but this is the only thing that we have. This is now. And the only thing I would like to have in my life is good vibes, isn't it? For sure.
Well, here's what I'll say, Renegade. I mean, you did what I hoped this morning. You kind of leveled the vibes out in here. That's what I was hoping for, that you'd come in, you'd straighten us all out, dude. As far as my concept of God, dude, to me, God's a concept. Yeah. To me, God, I look at it like this, Renegade. To me, God equals morals, ethics, values, and principles, right? To me, God is an idea, it's a concept. Because to try to say that we can understand God as such, to me, is arrogant and shows of some type of hubris and egoism, right? So I look at it like that, because to me, what I see is I see an entire system. I see an entire control matrix that's doing everything it can to try to convince us that there is no God, right? So to me, the question is not who is God, but the question is, what is the system trying to tell you about the nature of this reality? And what does that mean in terms of your life? Because when I see a control structure organized, it seems like control structure that's trying to present us with false religions, false science, false history, and false cosmology. And underpinning all of those domains, to me, is one simple goal, is to just undermine the idea of God. It seems like everything they're doing throughout any type of known history has been an effort to undermine God, right? So I ask this. To me, it's not about who is God. It's more about focusing on the idea of saying, if this whole reality is trying to convince you that there is no God, what does that really mean? Because I look at it like this, Renegade. Once you remove the concept of God from humanity, then you have them. That's the enslavement. Because without God, or at least the concept of God, I see no morals, values, ethics, or principles.
Yeah.
And to me, that leads to the totalitarian police state that we see today across this whole earth, dude. That's the way I look at it, dude. Once you take away God, you've basically destroyed true humanity in all things. And then you've now created a situation where people imprison themselves.
Beautiful. Beautiful, man. And the
And
thing
more
is, when I
importantly,
walk out
hold
in the
on, Renegade.
nature, yeah,
Renegade, I don't want to cut you off, but see, I love when I go on these little rants and Christy Lee
Yeah.
Dolls then agrees with me enthusiastically, you know, so then it helps fuel my ego. Much love, Christy Lee Dolls. I told Christy Lee Dolls to hit me up in my DMs, and then I realized I don't have any DMs for anybody to hit me up in. I probably should work on that, Renegade. If I'm going to ask these bitches to hit me up in my DMs, I need to establish some method for, you know, for the direct messaging. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't mean to cut you off, dude. I know we're having high level
Shit.
concepts of God
Yeah.
and the concept
Yeah.
of God, and then I have to bring it down to basically me wanting to, you know, ravish and basically in some way sexually destroy Christy Lee Dolls. I know that's kind of fucked up probably for me to do that, but I don't know. Help me out here, dude.
Yeah, I would like to say it like this, you know. Keep it basic. God is everywhere. And I used to say it like this: everything is alive. Nothing is dead. Nothing is living. Everything is alive. That's the thing. So keep it basic. You don't have to worship anything. You can don't be an ego trip in the first place. Be the soul that you are. Stay positive, of course. That's the thing. Because the thing is, when you got one side of it and the other side of it, it's like a football game. I don't want to have two sides of it. It's only one lane. That's the peace. Because we need peace one of these days. We don't need this one did that. This one believes in that thing. We need one thing, not all of the thing. So everything is alive, and stay peaceful. Stay humble. But be sharp. Be a nice one. So stay focused on the one that you are. And everybody's sharing it, because I can't say that I own the world. The world is just a construct, and we're still standing on the earth. Look down instead of looking up. The shit is super flat. Level is always, water is always leveling, you know? And water's got a memory. And we put in our thoughts into the water because we're 80% of the water. So be careful what you're doing on this world and be nice to the earth. That's the thing. So PC, take good care now. Just popping in, giving some good vibes from southwest of Eden, where we still believe in whatever we believe in. I'm pretty close to the magnetic center, so that's a different type of the vibrate. I can feel some different type of vibes from overseas. I feel some different type vibes from the east and to the west. South is just a ring. The center is the thing. So keep on that, you know.
Much
Glad
love.
to-
Renegade 1, dude. Renegade
Yo.
1. No set. See, Renegade, that's why I love you, dude. You know how to come in, you hit us with the vibe, and then you know when to leave, dude. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be this awkward thing, man.
Yeah.
Guys, take notes of guys like Renegade 1, dude. He's not full of himself. It's not all about him and his fucking ego, dude.
This is
It's
my
just a
vibe.
vibe. Right.
This is what I'm doing. Shopping goods, hanging with my dog. It's chilling. I'm taking it easy. Do the thing. Get heat for the winter, you know. This is like 18 cubic meters of wood. I need that for the Satanist Christmas is going to pop up soon. Now it's summertime, so prepare to get warm. Good vibes, see. Thank you for today. See you next time. Big up. Much love, man. Peace.
Much love, big dog. It's Renegade 1, everybody. He's keeping it down. He's representing the Nordics. We've had a Christian here. We've had a Satanist. We've had a Viking. We had a Muslim here earlier. I was wondering if it was John Vance, who claims he's a white Muslim. He was here the other day. We haven't seen him since then. Got all the religious flavors of the rainbow showing up here at Z's show here in the morning. Yolo says he's like a Jamaican Viking. Right, he's like a reggae Viking. Interesting. It's a good take on that one. I like that. Yeah, we're mixing it up here. I got another guest I want to bring up. Bring him up in a bit. Right, Chrissy Lee Dolls. John Vance is annoying. He really is. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. Not at all. Yeah, Talcott Clip Collection is here. For those of you who may have missed it, Jack Talcott was here the other day. He graced us with his illustrious presence. He woke up nice and early. I think it was 2 streams ago. He popped in. And we got to experience the whole Jack Talcott vibe. The whole Jack Talcott insanity, for what it's worth. Who knew that Jack Talcott would become such a major part of all of our lives? How strange this whole experience is. This experience that we call life. This whole experience. I want to bring up my next guest. My next guest is a flat earther, much like myself. I don't know, Paul, if you're still here. I mentioned you this morning, Paul, in regards to the flat earth. I know it's not one of your huge topics. Flat earth's not a huge topic on Paulie's channel. But it's a big topic here in Z's show. And of course, we don't want to slam it down anybody's throat, but we're just calling it like it is. You can call me a flat earther. I wear the term flat earther proudly. I wear it. Even a lot of Andrew's my next guest, Andrew B. I'm going to get you up here, Andrew. I'm just doing my preamble. There he is. He's camera ready, everybody. Andrew, I don't think it takes much for you to get camera ready. Much like myself, dude. I pop on a beanie. You don't even do that. You just let your whole thing hang out. And where was I? So much like myself, Andrew's a flat. I wear the term flat earther proud. Andrew, a lot of flat earthers, they're flat earthers by default, but it's like there's this tendency now, this new tendency to sort of, they'll admit that they're a flat earther, but they want to back off of it a little bit, right, Andrew? They'll say, I'm a flat earther. Yeah, I know it's level and horizontal, but I'm not a flat earther. Because to them, flat earther is like a registered trademark corporation at this point. Like they don't want to be associated with it. And they'll say, okay, and they want to move on. But I'm stubborn, Andrew. I can't get beyond the topic. I hold people's feet to the fire. I could set it aside sometimes. Like our friend Paul, who was here this morning, our friend Paul Enslaved. He's made his feelings about this realm known. I don't want to speak for him. He seems to be a globe skeptic at least. He's made comments online. But he's come to a point where he doesn't want to keep the revolving, insane, debate going. And that's what it seems like to me. So I don't hold it against him. But I'm not going to go on Paul's show and start rattling off about flat earth anymore. He doesn't want it, so I'm going to respect that. But I'm a proud flat earther, Andrew. I really do. Like Wobbly Boost is here. Wobbly, I want you to come up. Wobbly, don't say no. You're coming up, Wobbly. I want you to talk to Andrew. Wobbly Boost, come up here. Wobbly, just put yes or no in the chat whether you're going to come up so I know how to run this segment. Come on, Wobbly. I saw you got all active when you heard me talking about the fucking topic here. Get up here, Wobbly. Are you going to come up? Because, Andrew, Wobbly Boost, he's a flat earther, dude. But he hates the term. He really doesn't like Dave Weiss at all. Andrew, he claims Dave Weiss, Karen B, and Mark Sargent are basically, yeah. What do you mean, yes or no, Wobbly? Are you going to come up, yes or no? Don't put yes or no. Come on, Wobbly, don't be shy. You're always on these fucking panels. And Wobbly, we know there's nothing you need to do to get camera ready. You're just Wobbly at all times. There's nothing to really get ready with. It's just you, constantly. Are you going to come up, Wobbly? Don't be wishy-washy. Yeah, Andrew wants you to come up, Wobbly. Because Andrew, he tries to hit me with this whole thing. Okay, he says that Karen B, Dave, and Mark, he alleges that they are part of what's called an FE Corp, which is a flat earth corporation, you know, corporate strawman, dead entity that Dave develops. All right, Wobbly, you're going to come up. Stop playing around, Wobbly. Why don't I see you backstage yet, Wobbly? Come on, Wobbly. You're making me look bad on my show. It's not a good look for me. Yes, you can keep eating the popcorn, Wobbly. You can smoke your reefer. There's no restrictions here like that. Maybe have a shirt on, though. I don't really like when people come up here with their shirts off. Unless it's Christos. He's been invited. Christos, if you're still listening, you're invited to come here with your shirt off. We've seen you running around the Truthiverse, Christos, with that fucking shirt off of yours. You're apparently newly single or something. So if you're going to do it here. We got a lot of ladies at this show. So we're going to do something with the whole Christos vibe. But Wobbly Boost, I'm going to request that you indeed put a shirt on. I'm not going to subject my audience to that. I know Christy Lee Dolls. Calm down. Calm down. Restrain yourself. Christy Lee Dolls is ready to bust out of her the self-imposed cage of monogamy that she's been in for these past months and years. She's busting out literally and figuratively. She's very busty, if anybody hasn't noticed. Anyway, see, Christy, you distract me, even more so than I usually am. Come on, Wobbly. Why don't I see you backstage yet? What's the holdup? Fucking guy. Come on, Wobbly. You're very passionate about it. So anyway, Andrew, Wobbly claims that basically flat earth, hashtag flat earth, registered trademark flat earth. He feels as though, Andrew, that flat earth is a psyop. He knows and he accepts that we live in a level horizontal realm, but he can't get himself to attach himself to the fucking term flat earther, which I embrace. And he claims that Weiss is basically a psyop. Now, Andrew, you have close connections with Weiss. When I say close, I know you guys are in communication and you have an association with him. Wobbly, where are you, Wobbly? Now you're not even in the chat. All right, he says he's coming. All right, well, I'm going to bring Andrew up, Wobbly, as we're waiting for you. We'll let him talk first. Let me bring him up. Andrew B., my flat earth friend. Welcome back to Z Show.
Oh, here I am. Thank you very much for having me on. Yeah, I came in kind of late. I was kind of wanting to talk to that Satanist guy for a moment, but I guess he's out. So that'll have to be for another time, or I'll have to go back and watch the stream from what I missed.
It's all right.
But yeah,
You'll see him again. He's a prominent member of Z Show. Axis Rat Blood's his name. And he influences the field. At least that's his claim, Andrew. And not only that, he appears to be the leader of a fucking cult, the cult of Axis. But he has acolytes, dude. He seems to be true blue, fucking real deal Satanist, bro.
I just don't understand that whole concept. It's like, I respect Satanists more than I respect atheists, though. I'll say that. Because at least they believe in something, more powerful than themselves.
That's a good point, dude.
Just weird. I don't get that. But in regards to, who was it? Wobbly? Yeah.
Wobbly Boost. So he's Australian. You and I know that people who live in the quote-unquote southern hemisphere tend to be onto the globe lie a little bit more than some of us. It's said that there's like 11 million people in fucking Brazil who are aware of the globe lie, right? I don't know. Take that number for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. You have Australia, dude. You have Qantas, which is basically the airline of Australia. Word on the streets is that many of the fucking Qantas pilots know what's up, bro, right? Like, they know the deal. They know the AE map is probably the most accurate map. They realize the globe is kind of really untenable. So we know that our southern hemisphere friends, so to speak, are kind of a little bit hip to the globe lie thing. Well, Wobbly Boost is from Australia, dude. So he's hip to it. But he's like, okay, he's playing this Wobbly Boost. You're kind of playing the whole righteous truther card, bro, if you want to know the truth. I'm calling you out, Wobbly, and I love you for so many reasons. Not just because I always loved Crocodile Dundee. I always had an affinity, a childhood affinity for the Outback, Mick Dundee. And Wobbly, you're the closest thing I've ever met to Mick Dundee, Crocodile Dundee, dude. So I have an affinity for you right there. It's like a childhood memory. There's like a, you serve some kind of like ideal in my mind, some type of archetype, Wobbly, of, the quintessential
The thing I want to
Australian.
hear from him is why he
Right.
thinks Mark Sargent, Karen B, and Dave Weiss are like paid agents or shills or grifters. I mean, you can't just say it. You have to give an explanation as to why. So
Right. Well, Andrew, so I did it to him, dude. We were on a stream. I think it was on Slavius's channel. And he, I said to him, okay, you made a claim, Wobbly. I want the evidence. And his evidence is FE Corp. He claims there's a corporation. It seems like Wobbly Boost, Andrew, it seems like Wobbly Boost has put like time and energy into this, dude.
Let me clarify something real quick. FE Corps is field engineers.
No, he says it's something else. No, I know what you're saying, dude. I know that's like a military thing. No. He's saying
this is a private thing. That's what Bob Nodell was a part of, and before he passed
away. Okay, so Nodell's involved in it. Okay, all right, Wobbly. See, Wobbly, you got somebody who could probably engage in this conversation with you. I get it. So you're saying Nodell was involved in it?
Yeah, it's private. It has nothing to do with the military. It's just a bunch of engineers that got together and created their own tests and experiments and stuff. And
got you. But it's around the flat Earth topic. Is that what you're saying?
Specifically, yes.
Got you. Well, for some reason, Wobbly thinks Weiss, Karen, and Mark Sargent are involved in this thing. And even if they are, Wobbly, so what? What does that prove? They're obviously monetized. I'm gonna tell you something, Wobbly. Any quote unquote content creator that has a presence here, they're gonna be monetized, dude. Trust me, I went through it. I didn't think I was gonna monetize either until I realized what this whole experience is. Wobbly says can't join, says my cam is being used, but it's not. Well, try again, Wobbly. You've been on many streams. Figure it out. We're not accepting that from you. Restart your stuff. I don't know. Are you making an excuse, Wobbly? Figure it out. It's not that hard. So anyway, Andrew, it's a weird argument to me, dude. Just to say that because they're in some way being compensated monetarily through their endeavors here in the metaverse, that in some way that automatically makes them a shill. I need more evidence, really.
Yeah, I've never spoken with Karen like privately or anything like that, but I have called into her shows a couple times and spoken with her. But I have had some private conversations with Mr. Weiss, and I'll tell you that he's genuine. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing for him if I didn't think that. So no, I have no doubt whatsoever that Dave Weiss is a completely genuine, honest, and hard working guy.
Fair enough, dude. All right, so Wobbly Boost is trying to restart. He's trying to restart. What's up, Sir Drop? Good to see you, Sir Drop. Andrew, here's the way I look at it, homie. Here's the way I look at it, bro. Okay. A lot of people want to be this, like I said this earlier, I'll just say it again. A lot of people want to be the special boy. They want to be the secret king. They want to be the little prince. So there's a compulsion towards that. So we can say, all right, like I got a lot of Crater Earth people here. My good friend London Man and some others here, they're really onto the Crater Earth. That's their thing. But I always say, well, Crater Earth is flat Earth, bro. You're basically just saying everything's level and horizontal. Why do we need to go in our little special groups? Why do we have to break it up into these little divisive communities? What's wrong with just getting behind the moniker, getting behind the title? Why do we need to be our little special boys? Oh, it's the Cell Earth. I had a guy, Dr. Ake, I think. Dr. Ake, much love. Come back sometime. He said, look into Cell Earth. You know, a lot of people come on, like our friend who I love, Dave Manel, Trinity Dave, and even our good friend Svetlana. She likes the apple concept, which to me is like a toroidal vortex or like a dual toroid with the proverbial inertial plane. Okay, fine. See, I'm getting upset, fucking Andrew. I'm going to try to rein it in, but regardless, you know, crater Earth, cell Earth, apple Earth, toroidal Earth. Isn't it just all flat Earth, Andrew? Or am I missing something, dude? Thank you.
Don't try and overcomplicate it. It's just walk outside, go to the beach. You can see it's not fucking curving anywhere. Go on an airplane, and you know, it doesn't matter. You can just look at all the photos of the fake Earth. It's not a fucking sphere.
Right, dude. That's why when people come on and say, "Oh, we can't tell," you know, who knows if it's a globe or who knows if it's flat? That's faulty logic. We know it's not a globe. We know it's not a globe. The globe is impossible. Stop saying it might be a globe if you know it's not. If you're not up in a situation or if you don't want to touch it, that's fine. Just say, I don't know. I want to talk about it. Or just say, I don't care. I don't know, Andrew.
Well, it goes back to Occam's razor, which is the law of parsimony. You know, the simplest explanation tends to be the correct one.
Right. Look, Wobbly Boost, we're running out of time. I don't want to put pressure on you. I know you're having internet issues. I can imagine, Wobbly Boost, that you don't have the best connection when you live in the fucking Australian outback. I can imagine, dude. I get it. I'm sure you're not dealing with 5G technology, but... Right, so our job says it's division.
And be very careful with that 5G stuff, too. A lot of cell phones don't even have 5G on them unless you actually enable it yourself.
Right.
I don't trust it because of the frequency that it... Oh, here he is. Okay, I will shut up.
All right. Wobbly Boost is here, everybody. Yeah, I agree. 5G's shit. It's all shit. All these frequencies are bad, Andrew. Whatever G it is. There he is. Much love, Wobbly Boost. Much
G'day,
love.
Zed. Thanks for having me up here, mate. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Wobbly. You know, I've set the scene.
Is blowjobs. Oh, no, I mean flat earth. Sorry. Yeah.
Hold on, Wobbly. Restrain yourself.
All right.
Restrain yourself, Wobbly. I don't know if we're there's a bit of a delay. Who knows? But and Wobbly, sometimes I know, Wobbly, your probably mind is everywhere, but I'm gonna try to get you to focus in on the the situation at hand. You still there, Andrew? Did we lose you?
No, I'm here.
All right, wonderful. Have you met Wobbly Boost? Have you met? Have you been properly introduced?
Yeah, nice to meet you, mate.
All right. Now, Wobbly Boost. Again, you and I have had conversations in the past. Wobbly Boost is somebody who accepts that the globe is a lie, and he sees a level horizontal realm. All right, It's fair enough. Now, Wobbly has stated that he feels as though there's a huge element within the quote-unquote flat Earth community that seems to be, let's call it controlled opposition, whatever you want to say, shill, whatever. Yeah. Right? Now, and you've brought up 3 names to me in specific, so I don't want to make it any more than it is, Wobbly, but you've said David Weiss, Karen B., and Mark Sargent. You've identified those 3.
Yeah.
Now, our friend here, a friend of the show, Andrew B., he has a relationship with Dave Weiss. Not only that, Wobbly Boost, Andrew here he develops things that Dave Weiss incorporates into his app, right? So you maybe even say they're friends. So I don't know, dude. Wobbly, you and I had the conversation. Let's bring Andrew in the conversation. So Wobbly, I mean, Andrew sort of gave his side. I don't want to speak for you, dude, but why don't you tell us why you think that David Weiss, Karen, and Mark are part of some type of controlled opposition to basically discredit the Globe Live movement? Go ahead, Wobbly. Floor's yours.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to sound weak, isn't it, when I say I don't really feel compelled to convince anyone about it. But that's exactly what I said to you on Paul's.
Well, you don't have to convince, but just give us your side, dude. You're making a claim. What's your points? What's your proofs? Your evidence, bro? Even if it's circumstantial, I'm not saying, Wobbly, that you had to go and do deep research on them. Go ahead, present your side, dude.
But it was more coming from, hey, Zed, I don't trust Karen B, David Weiss, Mark Sausage, Patricia Steer, Dirt, Jeranism, or any of them.
So here's the
Yeah.
thing, Wobbly.
Wow.
It sounds
So-
as though.
Well, I
Hold
was
on,
just gonna-
guys. Hold on. I'm just gonna.
Let me finish.
I
It's
know,
popcorn.
Wobbly, but I don't interrupt me as I'm interrupting you, because I know
All right.
I interrupted you. I'll admit it, Wobbly. But
That's fair. That's fair.
you know, and I this is a show, Wobbly. There's people watch this thing. We have to
Yeah.
we have to keep a certain. There's a certain brand. There's a certain energy I need to keep here. So,
Yeah.
my point is, Wobbly. It seems as though I could be wrong. Was that you're identifying any quote unquote flat earther who has any degree of, success with views, monetarily or otherwise. You seem to just have to classify them. Let me ask you the question then, Wobbly. Are
Yeah.
there any prominent flat earthers that you don't consider shills? Let's go from there. See, that's a great
Well,
question. I asked a hard-hitting question.
That's a good
Anyway, go
question,
ahead.
man.
Of
That's a
course
good
it is. Go
question.
ahead.
But I haven't watched Flat Earth channels for about 5 years. They're not big ones.
Okay.
There's probably a couple I still watch. So I wouldn't know of all the big ones at the current moment. I just
Wobbly, what's
know
with the
back when-
popcorn, dude? How do you pop popcorn in the
That's
outback?
really
Do you have
nice.
electricity? Well, you obviously have an internet connection, so
This
How do you
electric
ha-
fry
how-
pan.
how do you
That's
have
pretty good.
electricity where you are? What's your
Yeah,
means to it? Is it
It's fine.
just you just tap in? Like, are you running like an extension cord to your neighbor's house?
There's a dingo on a conveyor belt out there, and if he runs fast enough, but sometimes we run out of babies. You got to keep feeding the little fucker. Gets hungry.
All right, Wobbly, that was actually funny. It's hilarious. All right, so I don't want to spurg out in the fact that you're just ferociously consuming popcorn. The weird
Yeah,
part is you eat it
I'm
kernel by
listening.
kernel. Like, you don't
Yeah.
just dump the popcorn and eat it. You eat it one kernel at a time, dude.
Yeah.
What's Christy Lee's laughing? Why do you
Well,
eat popcorn one kernel at a time, dude? Are you trying to savor?
Yeah, the dingo ran a bit too fast, and some of them are burnt, so I don't eat the burnt ones.
Okay, fair enough.
Most of them pretty good. Turmeric and butter. It's really nice.
Let's focus here, Wobbly. Come on.
All right.
Killing me.
Well,
All right,
can I sum it up by saying that
Go ahead, sum it up, dude.
any decent human movement or theory on Earth ever gets corrupted? Can I put it like that? Or does it sound lame? Do you want actual proof and stuff? I mean, we're talking about if they're pogos, then there is no proof, man. They're going to have all their paperwork's going to be in order. All their ducks are going to be in a row because they've got lots of money and they can make sure there is.
All
no
right,
proof.
Pogo, Wobbly Boost, you're making general statements, right? So you're basically saying, okay, you feel as though the quote unquote flat Earth movement is a valuable movement, but that any movement's going to get corrupted. But you're making an implication. So without saying it, you're implying that it's been corrupted by these individuals.
No,
okay.
I'm saying it, and I'm also saying I can't prove it. So if that makes me
All right,
watery and inept, then so be it. I'm watery.
All right, let's bounce it to Andrew. Andrew, go ahead. Your turn.
All right. Well, it's a very vague and broad statement.
I reckon. Well, I said to Zed right at the outset that I am under no compulsion to convince anybody about that. I'm also under no compulsion to convince anybody that the Earth is flat. It's the same thing. I don't
All right,
care.
Wobbly, but you're backtracking.
If
Because you're making a claim that there's
No,
controlled
that's
opposition within the movement, but you're fucking backtracking, dude.
No, it's my central point. I liked Zed enough to give him a heads up and tell him what I thought, because sometimes he respects what I think, right?
I do respect what you think all the time, Wobbly. So Andrew, Wobbly thinks
but
that
I'm
I'm
not
basically
compelled in the
right.
same. Sorry, mate, but in the same way that I'm not compelled to convince anybody that the Earth is flat, that we live on a slave plantation. I'm also not compelled to convince anybody that the aforementioned are motherfucking shills that are fucking you over and don't have your true interests at heart.
All right, fair enough, Wobbly. I'm going to cut you off.
All right.
So, Andrew, again, I'm paraphrasing Wobbly. At least I could paraphrase Wobbly somewhat, unlike Illumitami. He's basically saying, Andrew, that he respects me and he wants to just prevent me from going down some some path of controlled opposition. He doesn't want me to be fooled by it. Which, Wobbly, is interesting because Andrew's currently trying to hook me up with Wits It Gets It and Jeranism, Wobbly, and I know you know who they are. So
I don't
do you
know who
think-
Watts. I don't know who Watts it is, but I know who Jeranism is.
all right, he doesn't know who Wits It is.
Remember,
Do you
all
think-
this is new to me? Sorry, Dave.
Wobbly, do you think I'd be going down some slippery slope if I was to indeed somehow become ingratiated with Jeranism?
No, because everyone went through that. Everyone loved them for some period of time. You know, it's just a matter of degrees.
Right, it's
But
not about
everyone
loving him, but he's a
loved
huge
them.
content. He's a huge creator.
No, I mean,
And
loved watching them and loved listening to them for
All right,
some
Wobbly.
amount of time. You know,
fair enough.
and there's so many people who were extremely upset that I voiced my doubts about them, and then come to me years later and say, "Man, thanks. That was a good heads up. You're right."
All right,
Fucking
all right.
bullshit.
Is it fair enough to say they serve their purpose? I don't know. Andrew,
Well,
give us your take, dude. Hold
they're
on,
specific-
Wobbly.
Oh.
Hold on. Control yourself, Wobbly.
Sorry,
Restrain yourself.
I'll be good.
Unbelievable.
Well, I'm not
Thank
really
you.
sure saying that they serve their purpose is the correct like nomenclature, whatever to use, but they're doing what they need to do. And once you like Jaron, for example, tried. He's told this story a few times. He tried applying for a crypto job, which he was overqualified for. But when they did a background check on him, that they said nope, because we looked at all your content and we don't want like flat earther kind of stuff being a part of our company. So yeah, if you think Jaron is actually a shill, then he's a fucking terrible one, because he's not at all. And
Fair enough.
Jaron is not hard to get a hold of. If you're on Telegram, you can message him. He will message you back. It might take a couple days or something, but it's not like you. And then Austin Wits It, a little harder to get a hold of. Also on.
Here's the
Telegram.
thing. Here's the thing, Andrew. You know I'm not going to reach out to these people. It's just not what I do, man.
Right.
The people need to reach out to me. If they can come up here and subject themselves to the scrutiny that is the open panel or shows like this, then maybe I'll entertain it, man. But
Johnson
I'm not,
popcorn.
because here's the thing. I got Wobbly, and to your credit, there was a time in my, let's say, consciousness, Andrew, where I wouldn't have talked to Jaron. Like, I was more along with what the Wobbly Boost is saying. But I've become a little bit more, let's say, more flexible in my understandings, Andrew, as I've gone through this YouTube experience. I'm way, way less likely to label somebody shill or controlled opposition after I've experienced this whole YouTube thing. I think people get ahead of themselves. It just seems like anybody who gets to something, who gets to the proverbial bag, is going to be labeled a shill by most people at some point. So I'm not like that,
In regards to Mark Sargent, by the way, I actually have emailed him a few times just because he gives out his home address, his phone number, and his email publicly to everybody. Okay. So I tested it out. I emailed him and I got responses back. So we've had a little bit of back and forth. I've never spoken with him online or on the phone or anything.
I will say, Andrew, that I like Mark, but I find him kind of corny, dude. Like, I find him a little bit like
Okay.
which doesn't take away from his knowledge base, and but I find him to be like a little goofy,
He's a nerd. I mean, he was a pinball champion, and he's a software developer. So yeah, he's different, not unintelligent though. He was one of the first people, actually the first person that I ever heard anyone talk about flat Earth. I was on, and I've told this story many times, but it was on, what is it, Coast to Coast AM 2015. I was up real late,
right?
And I heard him talking about flat Earth, and I didn't know who Mark Sargent was.
Well, here's the thing, Andrew. I don't mean to cut you off. Well, I do mean to cut you off, but it's just what I do here.
No problem.
A lot of people say that because he was on it so early, that indeed that's evidence towards his, his shill-like controlled opposition, characteristics. Like they're going to use that to say, because he was so early on it, that in some way he's involved in it. I don't think so, of course, but
well, he wasn't the first person, because there's a lot of people I've listened to online, never spoken with them, and said, yeah, they figured it out like 10 years before Mark Sargent, but they
Look,
just
none of us
wanted
are the
to-
first people, dude. It goes back to the late 1800s when they first tried to perpetrate this whole bullshit farce of the globe. Right, Wobbly? Like, Wobbly, people come on here, they'll try to argue with me and say, oh, this is a YouTube thing. I'm like, what about all the books from fucking the 1890s when people who actually when people still had the ability to think and use their God-given reasoning? And when they first tried to purpose this fraud in academia, people were saying it's bullshit. Some of the best flat earth stuff, almost all of it is from we're just all remixing their stuff, everybody. Anyway, I'm getting excited. Well, anyway, as much as I love, look, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to give you your final words, Andrew, but I end the show hard at 9:00, man. I'm just like that.
Yep.
So, because we could just keep going. Wobbly Boost, any final thoughts for the audience before I let you go? I'm glad you came up, homie.
No, just agreeing with your last comment, and then, yeah, I think what it comes down to is that I stopped looking for other people to tell me what Earth was and worked it out for myself, including, you know, all the way down from NASA to popular flat Earth social media. I'm calling it for myself. I'm
Right
doing
on,
it for
Wobbly.
myself.
Cool,
Yeah.
man.
That's
All right,
it.
Wobbly. It's good to see
Thanks
you,
for-
man. And
thanks for having me, Zed.
Thanks for coming up, dude. Thanks for coming up.
You rock. Nice to meet you, Andrew.
All right. Thank you.
Wobbly Boost, everybody. Wobbly Boost. All right, Andrew. Cool. Andrew, you're my guy, dude. Work on getting me in a room with Whitsett and Jaron or Dave, one of those guys. You're going to be my guy there. I don't mean you have to push it, but we're just going to put it out in the ether. All right? We're just going to put it out there. See where it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not like. Yeah,
I know.
I'll do what I
I'm
can.
just, I get it. I know. You're not like hanging out with them. You guys aren't sitting there and like laughing as you're taking advantage of the whole truth of verse, as you're conning us with the flat earth, the flat earth, you know, lie and the controlled opposition. I get it. Because that's the thing,
reason
Andrew. They like to think that like these quote unquote shills come in and like they're just like it's really that profitable to come on here and be a shill. Like, you know, it's really not. Like you said, Jeranism came on, he started talking his shit, and he can't get a job in the real world. You know, just like I'm never going to be able to get a job in the real world. But I did this on purpose, Andrew. I came on here with the whole Zetetic Warrior shtick, I think maybe even unconsciously, because I wanted to burn all my bridges back to the fucking normie corporate death world, bro. Like, I almost did it on purpose to say, all right, I'm just going to let it all hang out. I'm not going to come in here fucking milquetoast and lukewarm. I'm going to just come out and just present myself, you know? Anyway, I can go on and on. Let's wrap it up. Andrew, final thoughts for the audience today?
Yes. If you're going to call someone a shill, a grifter, or anything like that, you have to substantiate your claim without just saying, well, I think it. No, you have to have evidence. So don't just say that nonsense bullshit, because what it does is it causes more harm than good. And that's all I got.
Much love, bro. We'll talk to you again, Holmes. Peace out. Andrew B., everybody. Coming at us. All right, folks. It's that time. Show's over. I don't know. Is your fellow going live? Is your fellow in a thought experiment? Maybe you guys go check him out. We talked to him yesterday. Somebody let me know if Yurt is live. Much love to you, Feather Bear. Much love to you, Paulie boy. Blessings to you. Blessings to Enslavia. Go check out Yurt Fellow after this. He said he was going live at 9 o'clock this morning. In a thought experiment, everybody. I don't know. Christos, is Yurt live? Doesn't matter. Much love, everybody. We'll be here same time, same place tomorrow, 6 to 9 a.m. Z Show. Thanks, Yeti Life. You're on it. Farewell, everybody. It's not goodbye. It's just fare thee well. Until tomorrow. Adios.